Hi, creepy shit from the book. Yay.
Yeah.
Nightmare fuel, huh? Alright. Time to shill ourselves out in multiple communities.
Yes.
I tweeted.
I'm going to copy said tweet and I'm going to paste it in IRC.
I have like 3 new sites that I can Discord servers that I'm gonna be shilling in.
And if any corporation is watching us, considering sponsoring us, we approve. Let's just do this.
It's not that one, it's... There we go. Hopefully we'll get some interest from these places. We only need 15 more before we can go affiliate.
Nice.
What episode are we on? 7?
7, yes.
7.
Oh, I didn't put that in the thing.
Where is it? There it is. Okay, that... Oop, one more place.
Hello.
There she is.
Sorry,
Hi.
have arrived. Just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm
no
just
problem.
Setting all of the things up.
So you know, V, how you took all that time to dye your hair, get it all that color and everything.
Yeah, we have decided you should also go bald with, so you can match me.
From now on, everyone on this channel has to be bald.
Yeah, everyone has to.
I'm sorry, guys. I enjoy playing, but I think I'm gonna have to sit that one out.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't
So,
cut my hair for about 5 years for personal reasons, and I ain't gonna do it.
No, I don't think I will. Look, I love you very much, but
It was nice playing with y'all.
absolutely not.
Whenever I grow my hair
I
back out,
I will play,
mullet.
but like,
I'm growing it into a mullet.
Yes.
The last thing we need is someone's monitor setting someone on fire because of all the reflections from the light and everything.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys. I forgot until just now. I'm gonna dye my hairs. What color do you think I should do? Peach, highlighter yellow, or lilac?
Lilac.
lilac.
Okay, boring, but okay.
I was gonna say highlighter yellow, but
I know, right? Like
lilac.
Yellow is something you don't see often.
Well, fuck
If you-
off, you ass.
Listen, if you want airplanes landing on you, go ahead and do yellow.
I might. I don't think I'll look good in yellow hair, but honestly, when is there gonna be a better time? You know what I mean? Like it'll grow out so fast.
Yeah, you can easily just buzz it off again.
Yes, I could.
Nice
Okay.
flower crown, by the way.
Yo, why not?
Hey, Kensei, what's up?
Oh, thank you.
Cute, yeah.
It matches my hair.
Did you guys see my
hair
TikTok?
is cool.
I've not seen any new ones.
No.
Last one I saw
No,
was one
it
of you.
wasn't on my TikTok. It was on my
Oh.
sister's. But I sent it to you guys.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't opened TikToks for like 2 days.
I haven't seen any. When'd you send it?
Whenever I did this, because it was hilarious. Because I did the front half, and then I couldn't reach the back of my head very well, and so my head is very sensitive to touch, so I had to ask my sister to help me. And whenever she came into the backyard, which is where I was doing my hair, she could only see the back of my head, so she still thought I had full head of hair. And then I turned around to face her, and this part was just like this, and she literally died.
I just
She was
watched it.
laughing so hard, so we made a TikTok. I sent it to you guys.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what? And I was looking at it, I must have missed it when I was sending you TikTok. So
It seems like we're all doing pretty good in our own ways.
I will.
Just setting up for
I will look
D&D,
it
that's
up
all.
later.
Yep.
I am
Oh, I need to
so
get hair.
ready to go tell these people we fucked up the things.
Mm-hmm. I
already
have
done.
sent out all the
Already done.
notifications, so I'm ready to go whenever you guys are.
For real though, I think we should ask them for like a house.
Sure.
yeah.
We should just get a house in every like town that we save.
You ask for the house, they're gonna give you a birdhouse. You know that, right?
No, they're not.
Well,
Maybe with
birdhouse
my
is
last
about the
character.
right size for fairies, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm small.
Yeah. That's cool, Kinsey. We're just glad that you showed up. Any view is good for us.
Y'all can get your house. I just need therapy.
Well, to be fair, I think,
we all
two
need
other people
therapy.
here need severe therapy. Lysan's gonna be asking for trade goods, though.
Hmm.
Trade goods and tools.
I think Air is the most needing of therapy. Yeah, definitely Air.
Honestly, yeah, you're right about that. Let's be real, what D&D character doesn't need therapy? Not
Well,
wrong,
my-
Kinsey.
My friend and I were just doing a kind of a theory craft type of thing of trying to come up with a non-traumatic backstory for each class, and it was kind of a fun exercise.
I did it.
People content with their lives don't leave for adventure.
Not necessarily.
I was trauma-free until I met you people.
I
May have been trauma-free, but you had money issues, and that doesn't make you happy.
Yeah. Well, I didn't care. It was just, that was my way of life. But everyone else needed money, so here I am.
Guys, help! What do I want to eat?
Chicken?
What kind of options you got?
No, I don't want chicken. My partner's going to the Pack and Save. That's the grocery store. That's like I don't know, whatever your Walgreens. I don't fucking know.
Walgreens is not really a grocery store.
Walgreens is
I
a convenience
mean,
store.
I mean,
Kind of is.
I
Walgreens
wouldn't
is a
consider
grocery
it a
store when you're
grocery store.
desperate.
Guys, I have a crisis. I don't.
What the hell, Uber Eats? I just got a notification that said Walgreens is on Uber Eats.
That makes sense to me.
They
got plenty of-
listen.
they got plenty of
They're
food.
really listening in.
There are some things that you can really only get at Walgreens.
Okay, I guess I haven't been to
Okay.
Walgreens in a long time.
It's pretty bad, actually. So,
Just uninstall
Yeah,
Uber
also.
Eats from your phone.
I'm used to Facebook doing that. I'm not as used to Uber Eats doing that.
Rhythm
I'm
decided
used to
to F
everything
off.
doing it, honestly.
Rhythm decided to F off for some reason.
Rhythm is just like, peace out of here.
Yep.
You don't think Walgreens is a grocery store?
Because
No, it's a
because
fucking
Rhythm
botnet.
Rhythm was spying for Walgreens and Uber Eats.
Yes.
Oh shit, they
It's
know.
like I got found out.
These bots are working together.
Oh my god. Okay. Are we ready to start?
Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Oop, what happened to
I decided on McDonald's.
Rhythmbot?
Rhythmbot quit.
Yeah.
It quit. Whenever it found out we knew it was spying.
Oh, that's okay.
It's spying?
It's fine for Walgreens.
What you getting from McDonald's, though?
Wow.
It's not
Double
joining.
cheeseburger combo.
It appears that Rhythm is down.
They didn't give us the update though.
They will in a second, probably.
Huh. Well, it looks like we're doing this without music for a bit.
Oh no, none of you guys listen to it anyway.
Oh gosh.
I listened to it, and
I am offended.
Wow, just call
I
it
am
out.
offended.
Yeah.
Of course I
I
don't.
don't listen to it, but
I
What up?
purposely have it on mute.
I know. I listen to you guys like, oh shit, gotta mute Rhythm.
I listen to other things to keep me concentrated.
I use it for the stream.
I have
Oh,
to
boy.
be focused on multiple things to be focused on anything.
You guys are good. I just give you shit.
All right, Kinsey, I need you to give up your D&D game today and just join us and be the person playing music for us.
Yeah.
That sounds reasonable.
Or everyone
You're going to stay here for an eternity.
everyone in the stream, just play whatever music you feel is appropriate, and then you can stitch it later.
I can.
That'll be amazing.
I can
Here,
play
I was going to
music.
say everyone go grab an instrument. I was going to go grab my violin.
I got a guitar.
I can go
I have
get my
violin too.
I
I
can go
have
get my
a
recorder.
ukulele I do not know how to play.
I have a ukulele,
I
but it's
can
over
do
there.
haunting vocals.
I can play hot cross buns. That's what I got.
Plays only easy listening music. Yeah, I can probably add music later on with one open shot in the video.
Well, I have the guitar here in case it's an emergency.
So why is Kale not a bard?
Why am I not a bard yet?
No. Oh god, a
You-
bard cleric sitting fucking hymns by the campfire.
That is literally the plan. Yes. Let me take you to a world of pure imagination. It's called my religion.
Okay, that
The
actually.
only reason
now that
I
I think
ever
about
want
it,
to learn an instrument is to play an actual bard.
that's gonna
like,
screw up the.
no other reason. I have no want to play an instrument other than for that.
Is mayonnaise an instrument? Sorry, it's my favorite fucking meme in the world.
In my room, I have a guitar, I have a ukulele, and I have a ocarina. So, I'm good. I don't know how to play the ocarina, but I do have one.
My friend sent me a picture of an ad for chunky marinara sauce or mayonnaise sauce, and I was like, what? And then I texted back like, I think it has more of a warbly sound to it. He's like, what? And I sent him that meme. It's mayonnaise an instrument.
Okay, I brought in Waffle to keep everything in place. I think we can start if everyone's okay with doing it without music.
I think we're all good. So yeah, to recap our last episode, you guys had been taking some time in the town of Zilspar and had been given some extreme hospitality in the hope that you guys would accept the request to deal with something that has been hurting the town financially. They one of their big outsource resources that they sell to places like Sharn and other places is a local special trout that resides in the Red Cliff Bay that is right near the town. And so their fishermen are the ones that go out there and get the fish and sell it off. But their fishermen have been attacked a couple of times now by some sort of creature that they haven't been able to identify. You guys agreed to go along, went down, investigated, and ended up fighting off against these very ravenous, very tough creatures that are these mixtures of killer whales and wolves. The giant bodies of killer whales, but they have the powerful legs of wolves, so they're able to go onto land and fight you guys. And it's a bit of a tough fight. You guys did accomplish and win, and you guys currently are on the beach moments after finishing the battle, kind of all breathing really hard. You're covered in sand and sweat and blood and gore from these things being either attacking you or getting attacked yourself. And as things settle, you see down by the water's edge is the original one that showed up, that which was covered in these dark black crystals that seem to have been, they're like punctured into its skin. There's multiple of them along its arm and along its back. And it is currently lying on the shoreline with water kind of slowly just kind of lapping up against it. You can see blood coming out of some of its wounds, and it's seemingly laying there still and dead.
I go and make sure it's dead. I go and stab it in the head.
I want the pistols.
I'm not fucking with this thing. I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure it's double tap.
So Kale goes over immediately. He limps over because he was the one that went down last, and stabs this thing in the head, and it doesn't move. It moves with you stabbing it, but it doesn't seem to react at all.
Yeah. Violet has definitely drilled into my head. Crystals, ooh, go get them.
So
for me, so I'm going to grab them.
We're going to get the crystals.
Gotcha.
I'm having flashbacks to last campaign.
Yeah, 100%. But it's Violet. She's got to have those crystals.
So, are you guys doing anything before you start grabbing them, or are you just grabbing them and pulling them out?
Sadly not.
I'm gonna guidance us. Can I? Do I have guidance? I don't think I have guidance at this.
Do any of us have a pair of pliers?
What am I talking?
Sword.
Yeah, I can use like a dagger to.
I do have guidance with this character. I'm gonna guidance myself.
There you go.
While they're doing that, I would like.
Okay, you all do that. I'm going to go to town to go grab a pair of pliers because I don't know about you. I want the teeth. I felt them. They will make amazing arrowheads.
I want the tail. For
We are just
personal
gonna
reasons.
tear these things apart, okay?
Kale, before I go, have some bees.
What?
I've still got 2 swarms.
Well, I
left.
was gonna say, while they're doing that, I would like to move my healing spirit over to Kale and also cast cure wounds on him.
Yeah.
So that'll be a D6 and a D8 plus.
You have
grand total of 8 healing to you, Kale, from both swarms.
For me? Oh, thank you.
So.
Well, the cleric's the one being taken care of right now. I love that so much.
I don't think I even got hit.
All right. So
oh, I did.
That's going to be 10 from the cure wounds and 5 from the healing spirit. Both of those are a bonus action, by the way, so it takes more than 6 seconds to do that.
So the fairies first, they will go and start investigating on how to pull these out. If you guys kind of, the first ones you grab.
Whoa.
There's rhythm. Violet, you're the first one over there, since you were the first one to say that. So you go over there and you reach down, and they've got this. They all seem to be kind of rough shaped. They're not like carved or anything. They seem to be kind of rough crystals that were possibly excavated straight from the ground, but they seem to have been surgically placed in this creature. You can see that there are suture wounds around where the crystals have been placed inside the body. And as you go to kind of grab one to pull, it's in there tight, but as you do, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Major flashbacks to last campaign.
What are my saves? Wisdom is a +5, so unnatural 20.
All right, you are able to resist this. As you touch it, you feel this kind of like darkness kind of roll over you. The world itself seems to gray a little bit more than it already was, and it's more than it's more than the empty that you feel from since you've been risen. It's a anger. It's a ferocity that is unrecognizable to yourself, and it scares you for a moment, and Do you let go, or do you want to continue to pull?
I'm gonna continue to pull it.
Make a athletics check for me.
One.
She,
For a total of 2.
You plant your feet, you start pulling, you start flapping your wings, you're trying to it is in there tight, and you kind of slip off of it and kind of like do a backflip through the air. You stay floating, but you just kind of and then kind of have to go back.
If anybody goes to touch it after that, I will try to stop them.
So that you have to stop your cousin because air is above.
Yeah, I'm about to help.
That's kind of why I fucking said that.
Yeah, because after I see you like fly off, I'll be like, okay, I gotta help now for sure. So I'll have like, I guess just my scimitar out so I can just like dig it in and try to like actually dig out the crystal. To just, chop this baby up.
I won't stop her from like fucking using her scimitar to get it out, but I will stop her if she tries to like grab it.
I'll definitely grab it once I get it out.
As she's like doing the scimitar thing, I'm gonna get my traveler's cloak out and try to like pull it as like she's using her scimitar to like fucking cut it.
So it's pretty simple. I mean, you're not doing surgery. You're just cutting out flesh. So it's just kind of a rough carve around this crystal that's in one of its arms, and it's about. I can't talk. I'm going to show you with my hand.
Ooh.
It's about that long once you actually pull it out. It's a pretty big crystal.
Wow. Thing's pretty.
And as Violet kind of pulls it, this kind of grows up sound as it gets as it comes free, and the bottom half of it is covered in this like red gore. You can see this giant hole in this creature's arm, and it just slowly starts to kind of pump out some more blood. But make whoever's more perceptive of the two of you, make a medicine check.
Perceptive.
16.
I'm gonna turn.
16.
I'm gonna turn to Kale, who I'm already right next to because of Cure Wounds.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Are those crystals important?
I mean, there's only one with them, so that's the one that was like really mad. If I recall, is probably not gonna assume
24.
anything, but.
What was your medicine check?
It's not a medicine check? I thought it was perception.
Oh, no, I was saying who's perceptive of the two of you, make a medicine check.
Okay, make a medicine check. Okay, then it's 21, not 24.
21, yeah. So as you pull it out and kind of are holding it.
No, I lie. It's 22.
Okay.
My paper character sheet is not in line with my D&D Beyond character sheet because I didn't level her up on the paper.
You're holding it, and you kind of glance into the wound, and you see that past the blood and everything, you can see that there's other cuts on the monster from where you guys had attacked it, and the flesh underneath its kind of dark black exterior is normal flesh color, normal muscle. The flesh and muscle underneath this wound where the crystal came from is black, and it looks like it's been degraded with some sort of necrotic energy, possibly, as whatever this crystal was doing to this creature was eating away at it. And
I will relay that information to Air, and I will be like, I'll like yell at everybody else. I'll be like, all right, nobody touch the crystals with your bare hands. You'll get cooties. Okay, it's a little bit worse than cooties, but just trust me, don't touch them with your bare hands. And then I'm gonna proceed to like try to get the rest of them out with my traveler's cloak, putting them like in the sand, like in a pile.
So that process will take a little while because there's about 6 of them in total on the creature. What are the rest of you doing while Air and Violet are currently carving away at this creature?
Hey, Lyslin.
I would have actually run off to town to go grab that set of pliers, so...
Okay.
Okay.
So however long that would take, I mean, I've got 50 movement. If I dash, that's 100 per turn.
Well then. And he's gone.
Wow, he was fast.
I mean, you know, it makes sense logically that he'd be fast.
Yeah.
It probably would take you about a good 20 minutes to get there and back at a full dash.
Are you doing okay,
Yeah,
Kale?
I'll do that because I mean, I'm specifically going after teeth, and to do that, I want pliers. So.
All right. So yes, Kale and Sheeran.
Are you doing okay, Kale?
But yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Fine.
It looked like that thing specifically
Looking a
targeted
little
you for
rough.
some reason.
Yeah, I guess it took things personally when I stabbed it, so, you know, probably shouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, do you think we should help them?
I look over.
If one of you wants to make a nature check, you can try to get some information, maybe on what these
You
creatures
just
are.
see me hacking away at this thing.
Yeah, I'll make a nature check.
I'm gonna do that too.
Go for it.
That won't be necessary. That is a natural 20.
All right.
Hey, I got a good roll too. That's nature is +3, so that's a not natural 20.
Sometimes a good old clunk on the head helps you think things through. Nothing like a concussion to start my day.
And this information is something that you would have gotten the moment you saw the creature. It just wasn't necessarily helpful to the fight itself. But Alkuls are masters of their domain, though they have been seen across the world's oceans and many of its coastlines. Alkuls are most comfortable in cold regions with easy access to the sea. Because their pods can reach almost a dozen members, anything is fair game, from reindeer and seals to mammoths and whales. The only beings powerful enough or foolhardy enough to evict a pod of Alkuts from their territory are dragons and other Alkuts. These creatures are very territorial. They hunt in pods of, like I said, about 12. So to see only 3 of them is a bit odd. They're normally not this aggressive enough to like actually go on land just to get food. But they are very dangerous creatures and very so like I said, see 3 of them in outside of a pod is a little strange.
It's really
It would
weird.
be safe to assume that there are more, though, then.
It's up to you to assume if you want.
Yeah.
Do you think I should check?
Have you ever seen any of these before?
Sharon would have run into Alkuts in the ocean at some point. Not necessarily as like, oh, hi friend. It's more just like, oh, there's a pack of killer wolf whales. Let's steer clear. And so, but at the same time,
From a
normally
distance.
they're not like shark aggressive. They are carnivores and they will eat the seal if they need food, but they're not necessarily like evil creatures or just pure based in hunger. They're just things that you don't want to necessarily piss off or become the target of.
Oh, there's already a stat block, Kinsey.
Yes, there is.
Well, I've seen them from a distance before. Pretty much everything about this is odd. I think I'll do a bit of scouting underwater to just see if everything's all right.
Do you think that's a wise decision? If there's more of them, then, you know, I won't be able to help you out.
Well, I can.
Oh,
I can
remember-
escape fast.
Yeah, but, you know, if it chases you onto land, then we're back into the same situation, and we lost our archer.
True. But we were also commissioned to deal with this threat. If there's more of them, then we're not done.
Yeah, I'm just not in the mood to get killed again.
that makes sense.
If you feel confident that you're not going to get attacked, I'm not going to stop you. But if this thing, if another thing comes on shore, I will say I told you so. As we're running away.
Well,
Are you gonna go out there, Sean?
well, I've been told it's probably a bad idea, but I'm also the only one who can double check at this point.
I mean,
So I'm just gonna do a little scouting and see what the fish have to say.
But
So
Aaron and Violet continue to carve away at this. Jordan kind of goes into the water. Goes in.
I'm gonna be further off the shore this time.
It's fine.
And I'm just going to be sitting there, and the moment a big fucker pops out, I'm going to pretty much hit it with the strongest spell I have. So,
all right. So I would actually like to talk with these fish, so I'm going to cast Speak with Animals on myself.
All right. You go underwater, and it's a bit murky, but you are still able to see. Make a perception check.
All right. Oh, that's not going to be great. That's a 5.
5. It's a bit hard to see down here, and it's wide. It kind of the beach itself falls off fairly quickly, maybe about a good 15 or 20 yards from the shore, and goes deep and goes just kind of black from there, and it could go off in any direction, honestly. You swim around a little bit. You don't really see any other sea life except for maybe a couple of fish here and there. But it is very sparse around here on this area. As now, your perception, you obviously don't see much, but in your mind, you kind of think like, okay, well, they said this is a normal fishing hole or fishing area for this place. Apparently, they make enough money to support an entire town, so fish.
Mm-hmm. But I did see some fish.
Saw like a couple of very small fish kind of flew by.
Okay.
If you'd like to talk to them, you can.
Yeah. I cast Speak with Animals, so. Hello, excuse me.
One of the fish is kind of comes at it, like to a kind of a stop. It's still kind of like twitches as it moves around. Just like, yes. Forget.
My friends and I have been sent to deal with some killer whale-like creatures that have arms like,
Yes, I know those creatures. They try to eat me. They're fast, but I'm faster.
That's very good. We dealt with 3 of them. Do you know if there's any more in the area?
No. Pod, killed by pack leader.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Killed by pack leader.
Killed by pack leader?
It ate the others.
So there was only 3.
They tried to eat everything.
That's
You need to be. I was
scary.
too fast. It's like,
You did a good job staying alive.
thank you. I'm good at it. I'm very fast. Anything else? You borrowing me.
No, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay, bye. And he just like zips off.
Have a good day!
That fish was a total asshole.
I like it.
I love the fish.
yeah, that fish was great.
I want to be its friend.
Yeah, that was a deeper character than I could create. Shit.
You want to scout some more, Shorn, or do you want to?
Yeah, I'm gonna scout a little bit more.
You make another perception check if you like.
All right. This one die has given me 2 completely separate sides of the die. Let's see if it helps or doesn't this time. Oh, well, that's the same perception check.
Yeah,
You're going out.
There's a lot of area around, and it's unfortunately just not really able to pick up anything else. And you've been down here for about to about 10 or 15 minutes. At this point, while Shorn is gone doing her scouting, Aaron, Violet, you both finish excavating the rest of these crystals from the creature, and you now stand kind of off, away from it on the shore, kind of with Violet's traveling cloak kind of spread out on the sand with these 6 crystals kind of sitting. And as you're looking at them, they're marred with gore because you haven't been able to like wipe them off because you can't really touch them very well. But they're dark, and they have kind of like a purple, dark, midnight purple type of look to them. And the inside of them, as you look at it, almost looks like the inside sort of moves. It's not super evident, but it looks like it's almost kind of like there's just very slight kind of a flow to the color on the inside. It's almost like it's just a visual illusion, kind of blanking. You don't notice it, but then if you stare at it more, you kind of start to see it just sort of just shimmer just a little bit more.
Interesting.
Well, Kelly, don't play. Violet's just gonna be quite amazed by these crystals, but like never like touching them with her bare hands, just like with her traveler's cloak, or the sleeves of her thingamajig. Did we decide that when we pick shit up it shrinks? Or
That
not?
is no longer the thing because you guys were tiny when that was the thing. Now you're a small size, so it's not as big of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So would these potentially fit in my bag?
Yeah. I mean, if you
Okay.
kind of like gather them up a little bit, it might take up most of it. But before you do put them in your bag, Merrick actually comes over and, excuse me, Merrick comes over and kind of kneels down by them. Those look very similar to kyber crystals. So he kind of reaches into his back and into his like backpack and kind of pulls out a crystal that looks similar. It's smaller. It's only about that big, and but it's got this bright purple kind of shimmer to it, and it's got some noticeable kind of like sparks inside the crystal itself. And he's kind of holding it in his hand like it's very similar to this, but I've never seen ones like these before.
I just kind of like hold it like in comparison, like holding it up to it and be like,
And
what are they? What do they do?
these are used for magical means. I mean, there's different kinds of kyber crystals that dragon shards, as you may have heard them. They're kind of reside all over the place, and they are used for all sorts of different kinds of magical purposes. They can be used to replace spell components. They can be used to trap elementals. That's how airships fly, and all sorts of things. Dragon-marked houses use them a lot to power a lot of their functionality. And you guys would be aware of dragon-marked houses. They are the people who have specific hereditary magical marks that are passed down through family lines, and because of these marks they have special innate magic that they use, and they seem to be linked to races. So half elves have certain marks that only appear in their families. Halflings have certain marks that only appear in their families, and so on and so forth. But there are certain ones, and the dragon mark houses are very famous families throughout the land because they provide services to the general public because of this innate magic that they have. And as he explains, some dragon shards are used to power these services.
Interesting. So, what do you think's wrong with this one?
I'm not sure, but
I think maybe if I just cleanse it, I just like get out some like rosemary and like start burning it.
I
Like
pull out my sage.
don't burn it.
no, not that one.
I was
No.
gonna give it to you, but okay.
Oh, yeah, no, I can do it. You can't do it though. Thank you. Thank you.
You don't give her all the sage, you just give her a few.
As Violet is trying to cleanse these crystals, Merrick said, I'm not sure. Something dark has happened to these. I've never seen anything like this before. Though he seemed kind of rubs his chin, and he has a very worried look on his face as he kind of trails off.
As he's walking off?
Vocally, he trails off.
Oh, right. Well, what should we do with them?
Can't leave them for anyone else to find.
Right. Yeah, as I'm putting them in my bag.
Just make sure. Did you explain what happened to you to the others yet?
Yeah, no, I'll be like, I don't know what happened, but like, if you don't want like the world to become like even grayer, just don't touch the crystals with your bare hands. Like it sucks the soul out of you, and it's super weird, and
As this
you
is
might become like that thing.
As this being discussed, Kale, you kind of see out of the corner of your eye something out of the water, and you jerk real quick looking, and it's Short.
That's just me.
DM-induced PTSD, thanks.
I didn't find anything, and I was informed by a very interesting little fish guy who's very quick that they seem to have eaten the rest of their pack. Well, this one in particular, the one with the she gestures to the one that had crystals, and then you got them all out.
Yep. And they are weird.
I think the coast.
Don't ask me where they are.
She says as half of them are sticking out. I was there when you said not to touch them, right?
Yeah, that's what.
Don't touch these.
There you go.
There you go. Are you
They're
sure it's all
bad
right to collect
too.
them?
Well, I mean, it's either we collect them or somebody else collects them. And look at this thing. You know, I know that we've hacked it up a little bit, but do you see like all the threads and shit, right? Somebody put these in this thing, right? So if somebody did that, do you really think we should just leave them on the beach?
No, and also I think we should probably find the person who did it in the first place, and
Sharon's gonna kneel and take a look at what she was pointing at.
Sure. She points it out, so it's pretty easy to notice. If you want to try to get more details, you can make a medicine check.
I can try. That's also not going to be very good.
You're not too familiar with
6.
You're not too familiar with that kind of medical practice, so I mean, it looks like someone used a very fine stitching to close the wound around these crystals. And what you do pick out with that, I mean, running low, but what you do pick out is the wound itself. You can see the same blackness that that Violet saw, but the specifically around where the suture was, where it was closed around the wound, it looks like it was starting to corrupt on the outside of the wound of the hole, and starting to kind of like spread along the edges.
Someone did this to them? On purpose?
Looks like it.
I mean, that would be a hell of an accident to explain,
Yeah, I just accidentally stuck these crystals.
Yeah, I just accidentally stuck
wall.
these. Yeah, and perfectly stitched it back together.
Sharon
It was a total
immediately
accident.
shoots.
I just tripped and fell.
Sharon immediately shoots to her feet and turns to the others. We can't kill the next one we find, then. We have to see if we can save it.
Did that thing seem like it was gonna, not kill us long enough to be saved? 'Cause
No,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was intent on killing us. I learned that firsthand.
It seemed pretty angry at us.
Well, you said.
I mean, I came out great, but you guys were looking a little rough.
Violet, you said that the crystals made everything seem dark, right?
It was kind of weird, and I really don't know what would have happened had I not been so damn wise. But
Hold on, let me see
If you were
something.
me,
like if I was air, we might have had an issue. Yeah, but just don't touch him, and you'll be fine. You'll be all good.
Well, in which case, I guess it
No,
would be
hold on.
if we have
Merrick
to.
said we could use it for magic. I am thinking now.
Mark's like, I wouldn't try to use those for magic. That might be a bad idea.
Come on, though.
And he's like, do you have any idea? You didn't even know what these were. He's like, no offense. I'm not trying to like degrade you or anything, but you didn't even know what these were. Do you have any idea how to use them?
Well, I mean, no, but you were like they can be used for magic, so we figured out it'd be fine. And what better way to find out how they work than to
Bye,
use them?
Lyslin.
didn't you say we couldn't even touch them?
No, we can't. But that doesn't mean we can't use them.
If you can't touch something, is it a good idea to use it? Is the real question.
I would say probably not the best idea.
I mean, you can't touch hot iron.
You can.
You can't touch hot steel.
You definitely can.
But you can still use it.
Once it's cooled down, yeah. Oh wait, Sharon wouldn't know about that.
But not when it's hot.
Lyslin, off in the distance. Alright, so I'm going to need a pair of gloves, a set of tongs, maybe a few sacks. I wonder if they'll make the meat.
The people at the town are, once you come back, they're a little worried at first because you're the only one coming back. They're like, oh,
Not
God,
only
is
that,
everyone
coming
else
back
okay?
with a massive bite wound in my flank.
Yeah, and looking at the town. There's like, oh my God, is everything okay?
Oh, I apologize. They are dealing with investigations. I came here to acquire a few tools that we will need to, I'll just be perfectly frank. I'm going to rip them apart and make them into weaponry, so I'm hoping to get tools to make that a little easier. I need a set of pliers to pull out teeth. If I could get a small hatchet to hack up bone, partially get through a bit of blubber. By the way, do you eat whale?
When we've had the opportunity, it's not something we hunt on a regular, no?
Well, it's partially kind of killer whale-like creatures that we ended up killing. So I'm sure at least one or two of them are edible.
I did say I'm cooking these fuckers, so you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and they provide the pliers and everything that you requested, but once they confirm with you, like, you actually did subdue these creatures, they are all very excited, and the news starts to spread quickly as you head back towards your crew. And you can
Damn it, Lyson.
Right, I'll be back later. Have fun celebrating.
And yeah, so you guys are discussing this. You guys can continue to discuss what you guys were talking about before.
Are you having trouble with your camera, Zangetsu?
That's back.
Yeah, I am.
It's
A
the
lot of
second
trouble. It
time
keeps
it's gone
freezing
down.
up.
Maybe if you unplug it and replug it.
Yeah, that's what I keep having to do.
Ah, okay. Sounds like you need a new one then.
Yeah, I definitely do, and that sucks because like this is brand new. But
Okay. Well,
anyway, just another 20 minutes until license shows back up. So
it's a 20-minute half, both ways, or
About 20-minute total, since he's pretty fast.
yeah.
And
okay, then.
Okay. So
So
maybe
you
about
probably-
10 minutes.
Since I have taken it personally to cook these things, I'm going to start butchering one of the non-crystal ones.
Okay. So you go over there and start cutting it up, and you've cut up animals before, lived on a farm, so it's not too different. They're They are a bit tougher. They're more muscle than they are fat. So, but you do find a few pieces of it that could be used for cooking. As you are butchering these creatures, these dead creatures, do notice that they have a lot more wounds on them than you guys were they're wounds that are old, scarred over, and they look to as you kind of like looking at your own wounds and you recognize the ones from Lysa. You can tell that they are similar bite wounds to what you guys have, almost as if they were made by other outfits.
Poor things were probably terrified of this one.
Or it was a quest to see if who the strongest survives, maybe.
They don't normally act like that. They hunt in packs, but they don't usually fight to the death.
Well,
Like I said, they
I'd
were
say
killing
it
each other.
probably has something to do with the crystals.
Most likely. Which is why I
Yeah,
think
we'd
these
have to-
two were probably terrified of this one.
We'd have to find the source of it, but right now, back in
Tired.
So as you guys
Yeah.
take a minute to give a breather after collecting everything, kind of thinking about what you want to do, and Kale is currently butchering up these outputs to cook them. Lysa returns.
Lyson, what?
All right, everyone, I've got a set of pliers. Oh, you're already carving that one. Did you get anything out of the tail? The tail is normally very succulent.
well, I hold up the tail that I just cleaved off. I'm like, I'm working
Wonderful.
on that one, yeah.
So, what have all of you learned? I assume there's been a lot of investigating. I see that this one no longer has crystals and...
And we tell him.
Yes.
Yes.
Sheer indulgence of
I see.
Marcy.
So families here use magical crystals to power magics because they are too weak to just be good enough spellcasters on their own?
Yes. I don't know, but I just said yes anyways.
I don't know
Magic
if weak
is-
is the right term.
Kale would know this, and so would Air, having spent time in Violet as well, having spent time here.
Can we?
Magic
Can we
is
take a
common. You need a break?
Yeah.
Is everyone okay taking an early break?
Sure.
Sure.
Alright.
Alright. I guess we're taking a break. Let me just specifically mark the intermission screen.
15 minutes, okay, V? Okay.
Alright. Have a good night and have a good session, Kinsei. I am back and I bring hot dogs.
Yes, I've got like a third of a pint of ice cream I didn't eat like a couple days ago. So
Oh yes, I have ice cream too, and I keep forgetting about it.
yeah, we've had a quart of vanilla in the freezer for like the past 3 months that we're still working on, and a tub of rainbow sherbet in addition to these little individual pints. They keep going on sale, so we keep buying them. It's a vicious cycle.
Dang sales, stop giving me stuff I want for cheaper. I need to avoid spending more money, not spend more because it's affordable. I kind of got lost in that joke. I realized something while I was downstairs. Lyson makes a comment about how using crystals to cast magic because they're weak. Sheeran looks at the crystal on her trident, which is where she casts magic from.
It wasn't intended to be an insult, but I mean, it's not going to be denying that there is an insult in there. Alright, so I'm thinking after level 5, when I get multi-attack, I'm just going to dip 2 straight levels for Rogue for that bonus action dash.
Yeah, same as
I'm
I'm
going
dipping. Same as I'm dipping 2 levels in fighter for that action surge.
I'm going into Bard.
Technically, gonna have 2 bards in our party then.
I'd go Bard or Lockwood Lyslin. He just doesn't have the charisma for it.
My wisdom is equivalent to my charisma, so it seems to be a good mix.
We were discussing the other day about Kaylin going barbarian, and it's just like when the healer gets tired of your shit.
Yeah. Could have done it into Barbarian, but I'm like, yeah, no. Bard is where it's at.
I am also considering a 2-level dip into sorcerer for that twin casting, since druids get a lot of concentration spells. But that won't be for a long time. Hi Tori, welcome back.
Hello. You guys are gonna end up with as many multi-classes as I had planned from the beginning.
Well, that depends on if I feel like I need it later on, but like that's something I'm considering.
I'm just thinking, how can I go even faster?
How can you go even faster? Monk.
Zoom.
Also mobile.
That's fine. Have all the speed you want. I'll just restrain you.
Now I want to create a monk centaur for that speed, a massive speed.
Monk Centaur would be fun.
Yeah, you can have a reason for the back kick that the horses tend to use.
Lyson, are you taking the alternate feature to the Explorer stuff? The Adept Explorer, I think it's called.
Let's see. What did I pick? I believe I was going with Canny and all that.
All right.
Welcome
So
back, V.
that means going forward here to Lofi levels, you as a centaur are going to have a climbing speed.
Oh boy.
Yeah, not just a climbing speed of 50.
Equal to your walking speed.
Can't
I
wait to
can't
see
wait
that.
to see that.
And a swim speed.
And a swim
As
speed.
you said, I'm
I
learning.
I just realized
Can't
this.
wait to see it.
He's gonna Skyrim horse it. We come to some kind of climbing problem, and Lyslin just everyone's like, Lyslin, can you climb? Oh yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I can do that.
And then you
Watch
just hear
me.
you hear the sound of a plunger as he sticks his hoof against the.
See, what I'm picturing though is so he's got his upper body grabbing rocks, but his lower body
Just
just
dangling.
has. Well, no, he just has his leg just splayed out, just like holding onto it, just keeping his body up. This is really awkward picture. I'm picturing it.
See, I was picturing it more like he technically is climbing, but it's more like mountain goat leaping from rock to rock kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Probably.
that makes sense.
Just funny images in my head.
All right,
If only we got fan art, that would totally have gotten.
I have to consistently, a lot of the time, be like, okay, logic, D&D, don't always fit together, so we're just gonna let it go and just go along with our imagination.
All right, everyone good?
Oh, we all good then.
Like when Afris climbed that tree.
V, you good?
I'm good.
V?
No.
Okay.
So yes, don't remember what we were exactly talking about before we left.
I believe the last thing that we said was Lyson.
So families here need crystals because they are too weak.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you were explaining that Kaylin, Violet, and Air would know something.
Yeah, they would know that magic in Corvair is a commonplace thing, honestly, but small magic. There's a lot of mage rights and whatnot, but they can't do much more than maybe a couple of first level spells, mostly cantrips. But that level of magic is pretty common. These dragon mark houses are able to innately use stronger magic, things like lesser restoration and things like that without any kind of training, they are just boom, naturally born with that ability. So that's, and the certain dragon shards Merrick kind of explains is they are used and can be used to increase that power. So
real quick, Cass, can you restart your camera? I think it's off a bit.
I mean,
Like your voice is coming after the camera. I don't know.
all right, one second.
Hopefully that'll fix it.
Is that any better?
Much better.
Yes.
All right. So, as Sheeran hears that, she's going to pull her trident down and look at the crystal and the staff that she uses to focus her spells. Well, crystals don't mean you're weak. I use a crystal. Given I
I
make
apologize. I did not think that right. It seems that these are essentially magical crystals. This is more like a focus, right?
Yes, it's a crystal I create through magic.
Yes. See that that is different. This seems to be a fueling kind of thing. Components.
I guess. I don't think it's because they're weak, though. I think it's just like it helps helps with everyday life.
Merrick kind of laughs. He's like, "I promise you, the people of this land are not weak with magic. The past century of war can attest to that. There was inventions made that kind of like you see just like this pain look on his face as he seems to be remembering. They devastated. They were able to launch magical attacks from miles away and devastate entire towns with these weapons. Uh, Much of that has been apparently decommissioned in this time of peace, but I feel the only reason they're really doing it is not because of any treaty, but because they're afraid of what the use of more of that magical power could do to increase the mourning. That right there is an testament to this land's power. Is most likely what created that that place.
That makes sense to me. Where I'm from, long time ago, Kalen, you're an elf, yes?
Partially.
Well, then you might be partially in the know of this. The purer blood elves, they uh, innately have magic, as you say some of these houses do. Uh, when they gather together, they have these things, they call them mithalar. It is able to warp the very reality of magic reality as they see fit. All it requires is 100 or so of them to focus. Once they got so focused, they ended up going forward and backward in time, creating their own continent. They were attempting to become Eladrin again, I suppose, or become one with their god, who I guess he's angry at them because they stopped being Fae.
That's very interesting.
The point is, I understand the fear of these strange, super powerful magics.
Okay.
So on a different note, the teeth. Can I have one? Can you?
Me too, please, 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 from this one. And she points to the one with that had the crystals in it.
Certainly, let me get on that.
I just kind of dropped the head of the one I was already butchering. Just,
We could all make like friendship necklaces with teeth on them.
Would that be like a survival to like gather more teeth?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to guidance and help you. Since
well,
Sheeran would also be under the don't waste any animals killed type mindset.
With the guidance, that is 21.
Yeah.
One.
Kel-
Yeah. What were you say, Kel?
Kale's gonna go and butcher the other one now if he's done with the first one.
No.
But he's not gonna touch the one that had the crystals in it.
You spend probably a good 15, 20 more minutes gathering. You're able to kind of reach in and as you're kind of pulling out these teeth, you get between, if you're gonna excavate teeth out of all of them, you probably end up with about 60 teeth.
Excellent.
Nice. That's going to make quite a few arrows.
I will hand over. You said about 60. I'll hand over about 20 teeth to Air, and
Okay.
about 10 of the teeth from the crystal embedded one over to you, Violet.
Thank you.
Kale, do you need any help?
by that time, after the teeth have been all excavated, Kale is pretty much done butchering the other one.
I'm good.
All right.
He's like covered in.
He's just covered in gore. The beach looks like a fucking murder scene, massacre. Just flayed out fish parts all over the beach. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna make some chowder.
You now have a gathering of seagulls. I love you guys.
Makes sense.
I point up at the seagulls and I just look at Merrick.
And launches a fireball at him.
If he hits one, I'm gonna try to catch it on my sword.
Make it just a dexterity check.
A dex check, okay.
Could I attempt to harpoon a seagull?
Definitely try.
That is a 17.
I'm gonna try as well with my trident.
You're able to like poke it as it goes by, but you're not able to actually catch it on the sword, and it falls into the sand.
No.
Soft 20 to harpoon a seagull.
Well, that's not gonna be a good roll.
Pretty easy. It and it just goes out. By the time the fireball goes off and the harpoon goes, the horde of them just got
12 for my trident.
12. Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay.
So yeah,
Sorry, excuse me, did you just check the AC on a seagull?
Yes, I did. I had to check. But yeah, it's
Did I do this
the
right?
rest of them will kind of fly
If
out.
he's using similar stats to what I think, a 12 just barely hits a seagull.
Sheeran
Nice.
doesn't really know if this is just like some kind of ritual or something, so she's just joining in.
You know
I do
these
this right?
taste pretty terrible, right?
Merrick's like, yeah, they eat garbage.
Pigs
well.
eat garbage too, but they taste pretty good.
This is true. But yeah, you've seen those memes with like the inside of like what seagulls eat. It's got like lighters and shit.
But if you dry them, they make fine baits. It doesn't matter to many creatures what other things eat.
That's true.
Did we maybe go tell the townsfolk that we killed the things?
Yep, and
Yes, I mentioned that we killed some sort of whale-like creatures.
Lyson, could you maybe carry this thing that had the crystals in it? Because I don't think we should leave it here.
I'll do it.
Right. Well, we were going to take the dead man, so we're going to steal a boat to do that. May as well attempt to load this up on a boat, and I'll drag it onto the ground.
Did we get a cart?
No, we have boats, though, I thought. No? Yes.
You had the
Why
cart.
do we
that-
need
Yeah, we did
boats?
have a
No,
cart.
we just
Okay.
need to take it back into the.
Right.
So
into
we'll just
the
load the cart up with
town.
everything. And
Well, we just need somebody to transfer it.
Sheeran, once everything is cleaned up, Sheeran's gonna cast Create or Destroy Water to rain over the beach so that it clears out all the blood.
Okay.
Or as much
Just
as she
chum
could.
the bay.
It does partially the job you want it to. It starts to run it down towards the water, but you can imagine once high tide comes in, it might help. But the beach itself is quite the mess at the moment still.
Yeah.
You guys load up the body of you guys take the corpse and the outgroup back,
Yeah.
and you guys start heading on your way. Now, not at the speed of Lyceland, it takes you about a good half hour, 40 minutes or so to get back to town. And when you guys do, you are met by a procession, much like you were met when you came to town. But these people are now legitimately excited. There's people yelling and cheering and clapping, and you're offered drinks the moment you guys are in town. And the people are at first kind of like, whoa, as they see the creature. But then other people are fascinated by it. And
Some kind of whale-like creature.
some people are like, I knew it. I knew they were acolytes. And the one's like, you didn't know shit. And there's like this argument that happens off to the side.
So, we're not certain what to do with this one. It was sort of transformed by some weird crystals.
As you're saying this, you kind of met by Zog, who kind of comes up and he looks a little flustered. He's like, "Oh, so is this the creature?"
Mm-hmm.
One of them.
It's dead.
Yeah, the rest I kind of got over here, and just.
Well,
If-
I doubt this one knows how to come back too, so it's fine.
is that it? I thought Oculus traveled in larger pods.
I
I show him the butchered meat of the other ones.
I did a bit of scouting after defeating these ones. Some fish told me that they were eating each other.
I have
He
to do
kinda-
something. I'll be right back.
Go for it. Zog kind of like looks at one of his assistants as you say some fish told you this. He's like, that's strange. Do we
Those
have
fish.
It is.
It
Those
didn't-
fish speak Triton.
Gotcha. Good to know. Did not know fish knew Triton. I didn't know Triton was. Anyways,
Well,
do we know why this creature was acting this way? We've never had an attack by these creatures before.
we think it has something to do.
Some really strange crystals.
Yes,
Crystals.
that.
Yep,
Uh,
crystals. They were dark, and Merrick seems to think that they're dragon shards.
you see a couple people in the crowd, kind of like that are nearby, kind of like. Just move back a little bit as you hear the word dragon shards, and Zod kind of looks past you, Violet, towards the creatures. Like, where are these said crystals?
We got it. It's fine. It's sorted. Disposed of in the most bestest way.
Make a
Sure
pers-
to never to come back again.
Make a persuasion check.
I will guidance her.
No, this is in the
You
moment.
do that, it's going to be
unfortunately.
obvious.
Okay.
Yeah, guidance is like if you know it's going to
Natural
happen.
20.
Okay.
He's like, I trust you. If you say it's done, you all save this town. I believe you. Thank you,
Wise.
all of you.
Wise decision.
There is one more thing. While I was scouting on the sea floor, or scouting around the sea, I didn't see a lot of fish. It seems they may have fled the area. It may be a bit of a while before they come back.
You kind of hear a little bit of a murmur through the crowd as it kind of passes. That kind of what you say passes along.
Life will find a
Although
way.
that being said, we did leave a lot of scraps on the beach, so that would eventually chum the beach. So
It could
hopefully
also
they'll
be
come back.
seasonal,
And you hear someone kind of like yell out from off to the sides, like, "What if they ate all the fish?"
Well, life will
It'd
find
be
a
a
way.
lot fatter.
Zog's kind of like, maybe we should have this conversation.
Man, I'm trying to
Not
make a
out-
joke here.
Not out here.
I think if they
Jurassic
ate all the
Park
fish,
reference?
they'd be fatter, no?
Yeah. Way fatter. These are kind of lean and mean.
Life finds a way, so they will return.
That
I just can't tell you how long it'll be.
But nonetheless, this is time for a celebration,
We should have
no?
this
We've
conversation somewhere else.
rid you of your problem.
With Violet gone, I'm gonna have to go back
Zog's
to
like,
this.
Yes, of course. Turns around
Or
to the
not
people.
Violet,
He's like,
Tori.
yes, we need more drinks. We need more food. We need some celebration, people. And he kind of distracts the people a little bit. And as people kind of get back in the mood and they kind of rush off. And is there anything you guys wanting to specifically do this day as you guys are coming back into town and are swept into the town into what looks like it's going to be quite the celebration tonight?
I need a kitchen.
You are brought to the Red Cliff Overlook to and you have full range of its said kitchen. You're brought back, and you are introduced to the cook back there, who is a a female half orc, and Zog actually introduced her as his niece that came to town a few years ago, and she's quite adept at cooking herself. And as she's being introduced, she's introduced as Gortha,
Okay.
and very very burly, very tall, but with a very she turns and looks at you, very beautiful, like sparkling blue eyes, kind of like offset by her more like brutish, orcish looking heritage, but very sparkling blue eyes. And she kind of turns around. What's going on? Yeah, Gortha. And holds out her hand to you. She stands probably a good like head taller than you, and just kind of grips your hand, nice thick, meaty grip. And Zog's like, Kalen here has some food he would like to prepare, and he needed access to a kitchen. Are you okay with him using your facilities? Gortha kind of looks and, Cass, are you good with the spatula there?
I've cooked for a lot of people, a lot. So yes, I'm pretty good with the spatula. I'm good with a lot of things in the kitchen and out of the kitchen.
Well, let's see what you got. And you look around, and she runs a very immaculate kitchen. There's not a lot of clutter. Things are put away and stacked neatly, and there's the counters are wiped down. It's very cleanly in here. And she herself she has like a few food stains here and there from her, but you can see that she keeps her own attire well as well. And she kind of runs you around the kitchen. She's like, okay, this is where we cook. This is the pot fires and blah blah blah. And she kind of shows you around all the utilities, and you can get started on cooking your aklut meat.
Yes, I'm going to grab some ingredients, some fat, some like lard or something, and just some things, and just start cooking it up. So
Go for it. What are the rest of you wanting to do?
Lysan's mostly interested in starting to acquire some of the supplies that he would have wanted to be his payment. Mostly that would be a set of woodcarver's tools, some fishing tackle, a couple of spools of twine if possible.
Yeah, easily provided.
Sheeran's kind of wandering around, just seeing what's going on with the festivities.
You are accosted by a number of people that start asking you about Triton society and life and where you live and where you came from and why you're here, and they start asking you all sorts of questions.
I will oblige.
And yeah, so you find a group of people that are enraptured by your talk of your land stride and your people in the city you're from and stuff like that. So
I will accompany with some shaped water, like vague shapes of things.
And they're very fascinated by it. What about the fairies?
Violet is probably just gonna chill amongst the celebration for a little bit, but then, like, probably get a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of people that are trying to talk to her, and go and find, like, a little quiet spot in the inn where Kale is cooking in the kitchen, and do what she fucking normally does, just find some fucking random and sit on the other side of the table and make her tea and start shuffling her cards.
5.
All right. So yeah, you work through, and people are very fascinated by learning about who you are and where you're from and the Feywild, and I've heard stories of that. Is it as beautiful as they say it is? Is there really changing colored grass there? And just like kind of goes through little stories, and a lot of those like answered.
when they ask about the color changing grass, I druid craft some color changing grass on the table.
They are all ooh, and they're all very fascinated by that.
Make a couple of my like favorite flowers like pop up out of the grass.
They make a
There's periwinkles in amongst it.
you make a small little fay garden in the little middle of town.
Yep, that's what I do.
I don't know if it's a requirement, but I rolled a 21 on the cook's utensils. So
Yeah, you do a fantastic job, and if you guys are around when Kale provides it, the tavern is filled to the brim with people that are coming to join and taste this food of Kale's, and it is delicious.
I definitely want to try it. Kale, you are so good in a kitchen. Or
thank you. I'm not want to brag, but there's one thing I know. It's how to know my way around the kitchen.
Gortha is very impressed, and you ever want to cook back here with me? You're welcome anytime, little man.
I might take you up on that.
Air, what about you? What are you doing?
I have no idea. Because I don't really know what's going on.
You have an entire town celebrating your victory, and it's more just asking what people would be doing during the celebration.
I'd probably hang out for a while and then noticing it's not as fun as usual. Because nothing is anymore. I'd probably just follow Violet wherever she goes.
It's the sense of the celebration. It still brings kind of that especially when the crowds are like cheering and whatnot. Like it's not as much as it was before, but that it still brings back those good memories of being in the arena and hearing the crowd cheer, and so it still has that still there. It's not completely dead, but yeah.
Maybe I'll hang out in a tree then. So I'm like
It's already
out of the
dead
way.
inside. What are you talking
Yeah. Yeah, I was dead inside before, but now you made it worse, so she feels nothing. I just hang out in a tree, full of twigs.
Eventually, I would probably go find Zog and just like look at him super fucking mischievously and just be like, update reading?
Is that a good idea? Should we look that far, that much into the future?
Yeah, I mean, like, the present's already over.
but yeah.
I guess, yeah, sure. And he'll sit down. Please, go ahead.
All right. Okay.
I love Violet so much.
V comes up with some fun characters. I miss Birdie.
I still, I
Birdie,
wanted
man.
to say that your this would have been the perfect mix. I was reading the newer D&D book, and the spirit bards would have been perfect for Violet, because one of the examples for using the spirit bards is pulling cards out of a tarot card, and that is what represents the story that is told.
Yeah. No, I do like that aspect, but I don't think it would have quite mixed with Violet as well as the circle of flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Because like she's different aspects of being like witchy. It's really good. It's really good. Okay, so you pulled the 3 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. So the 3 of Wands basically is like you are seeking something. Like it could be anything from an answer to a problem, money, faith, healing of a hurt relationship, a hurt or a relationship. It says to practice sympathetic magic in some form and look for a right answer or solution, right? We're all magical, right? But then the next one, the Eight of Wands, is events that you set in motion in the past are now moving towards you for good or ill. If you have consciously invested in something, you will enjoy the fruits of your labor. If you sent out bad energy, this will be a period of reaping what you have sown. So it's like your problems are all solved. And like if you are good and like you're a good person, then it'll be good. And then if you're a shitty person, it'll be shitty. So be a good person.
Kind of like tilts his head. Makes sense. Yeah. Well, it seems I've invested well in all of your well-beings, and it seems to have come back as a positive thing. It seems this town has reaped the benefits of trusting in all of you and investing in all of you. So it seems to make sense. Thank you very much. Um, Air, as you are sitting in the tree, and you kind of lose the crowd that's been kind of like hounding you a little bit. And you're kind of sitting, you're watching the town a little bit, and you can hear a lot more of the commotion around the town as people are celebrating. There's singing, there's dancing, there's music. People are pulling out all the stops to celebrate. They're like, hey, their town's not going to have to go under. Um, but as you're sitting there, there's kind of a quiet that kind of goes over, and it seems a little unnatural. You kind of look around a little bit. You just hear very, very softly. Turn around. Nothing there. And then you hear right next to your ear to the point where you can feel the breath. And as you turn to look, you don't see anything right next to you. You see in an alleyway between two houses, you see what looks to be a dark figure just moves out of sight out of the corner.
Well, I gotta go after it, of course.
Has anyone
You're the
seen
fir-
Air?
When the DM's been waiting for that one character to be alone.
Do you go just haphazardly or do you cautiously go there?
No, haphazardly. Who are you talking to?
I
I
just-
just go
I
straight
didn't
for
want to
it.
assume. So yeah, you come around the corner and there's no one there. I'm gonna look around a little bit. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Sorry, I'm taking notes. E20. Perception. What's that? Plus, that is a 17.
Look around a little bit, and you can see anyone back here. It kind of leads to a dead end, to like a fence area that goes up quite a bit. So you could climb it per se, but it would be difficult.
I can fly.
I'm not saying you as the person. The person
Oh.
couldn't climb it. It would have been difficult if they couldn't fly. And kind of look around, and you just feel that feeling, that hair rise on the back of your neck. And you turn around, and you are suddenly met face to face with this dark, hooded figure with these red, glowing eyes looking at you, and you just hear this like kind of breath kind of release out of it. And it's got this strange. It's a smell that your brain kind of reels at because you can't recognize, you can't place anything you've ever smelled anything like this. It's very, very strange. And you get these sudden flashes of images in your brain that you have no comprehension of what they are. It's a quick, like, and you come back to it, and this creature is hooded. You can't see what its face looks like. It just seems to be shrouded in darkness that even with dark vision, you still can't quite see what is past the hood. And you hear that voice, but you realize now it's actually inside of your head as you hear.
Hey, what's up?
We have been watching.
Oh, what happened to...
I mean, I've also been watching. Got eyes. You have them too, I can see.
You will need to see with more than eyes.
Oh, okay. How?
We will show you. But you need to open yourself.
How do I do that?
Need to look deeper. And you feel when he says deeper, just that resonate through your body, and you kind of your body just kind of goes cold. Like you were already kind of chilly from that emptiness inside, but this just is a temperature drop, just deeper, and the eyes almost seem to glow a little bit, and the sky above it almost looks like it kind of shades over, and all of a sudden night comes quickly, and you blink, and the creature's gone, and the sky's back to normal, temperature's back to normal, and you look around, expecting it to like pop out again, and you see on the ground is a small book.
All right, I'll pick it up.
You pick it up, and it's the cover is this dark tan color.
It's Hermaeus. Confirmed. Hermaeus Mora.
Has a very familiar texture to it.
So it's skin.
The Necronomicon Exportus, here we go.
And
Oh no, we're gonna fight Deadites.
it has on the cover of it, it's mostly bare except for a small little star-shaped symbol on it.
Okay. I will put that in my shirt. So like not just like in my bag where someone could take it.
Skin on skin, yo.
Yeah, I gotta really feel the connection there. And then I will go back to my tree like nothing happened.
You put it in your shirt, you feel it kind of press against you, and it's a strange sensation that you almost don't notice. It's as you sit there in the tree, and you kind of you can feel the pressure of it against your skin, but you also almost feel a little. Like it's that perception where like if you sit there for like if you sat there for a bit, you could probably if you concentrate, you could feel your own heartbeat. But it's a sensation you have to concentrate on to actually feel. So it's like just at that edge of perception.
Okay.
The rest of the night for everyone else goes off without everyone drinks and has fun, and the night is full of revelry and celebration and fun for those who are willing to be social with it all.
No eclipse
is
for
there anything
us.
else anyone wanted to do?
While I'm talking to Zog with his reading, I'm just gonna shuffle the cards randomly in my hand. I'm like, it's a pretty nice town you got here.
Oh yes, Zilspar is wonderful. I've lived here for about 20 years, and it's been wonderful. You've made it all the better.
You know of any what's the property market like out here?
Well, depends on the area itself of the town. The closer you are to the market, the more expensive the housing is. But the further out, they can be decently cheap. And most people on the outer edges tend to build their own living spaces, so it's a little cheaper that way. There's a lot of skilled individuals here, some people that you can hire and things like that. Why do you ask?
Well, say in a hypothetical situation, right, that the heroes of the town wanted to come back to a town, right? And maybe have their own, place to be, hypothetically. And they're the heroes of the town, right? So
Zog kind of like smiles, but he doesn't say anything. He's just, yes.
maybe
I'm sorry, I
that's
didn't catch that.
something that. Do you feel like maybe that's something that could be provided?
Kind of leans back in his chair. You asking for a house in Zilspar?
I mean, we did just save you from like some weird mutated thing. I just, if there's obviously somebody's done this, and obviously it's in your area, so I just hate to, have a reoccurrence and not, I mean, if we had a house here, it would be like, oh, we gotta go and we could be halfway across the country. You
Am
could
I
be
nearby?
like, oh, this, and we'd be like, guess we gotta go save our house.
Well, unfortunately, as far as I'm aware of it, all the houses in Zilspar are currently occupied. I might not be able to provide a house, but I can provide free stay anytime your allies come here at the Red Cliff Overlook. I can provide that at the very least. You are the heroes of this town. You have saved us from going under, and I want to show that appreciation. That's why all of this celebration is on the house. And like I said, you guys are more than welcome.
Okay. I'll level with you. Okay? I'll level with you. Second option, plan B. All right. How do you feel about busts? Like, not busts, but like busts.
He's like, I might be a little deep in my drink at the moment. What do you mean for bust? Like a statue?
Like, yeah. Like,
You're gonna have a portrait of us.
Like
in
our-
the town.
How far away did Violet take Zog again?
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
we're in the
They're
tavern.
the Red Cliff Overlook.
I,
Yeah,
hopefully I
like
can go
our-
serve them some food later.
Like our faces, like we can make this place like real fancy and like put like busts.
Well, honestly, I mean, I don't know if that's something I can do, but honestly, this town is going to revere you for as long as these people are alive, and so I'm sure there are plenty of craftsmen. They have most likely someone's going to create some sort of notoriety in your honor. I'm not sure about busts.
She gets out a notebook and a pen. Okay, yes, craftsman. Who would I commission for that sort of?
Well, we do have a potter that might be able to help you with that.
Like stonemasons, people that work with like marble.
Little one, I think you're asking a lot of a simple fishing village.
We don't have anyone of that regard here. Never
Let
really
the
had
adults talk, Lyson.
We've never had really much use for marble carving here in Zilspar, unfortunately. And as you're having this conversation and writing down, you feel a hand kind of like placed on your shoulder, and you hear a familiar voice behind you. It says, if I don't mind interrupting, you turn around and it's Valerie. And she goes and gives you a hug, and is she being within like physical closeness to her? It's a welcome that those aromas and those scents kind of like waft off of her. That
Smell
bring, like,
really nice.
A lot better than the tavern with all the ale and stinky people. but she comes and sits down and says, "I overheard something about residency."
We were gonna look at like getting like a property because we just saved the pound and all that, but Zog's like we don't have none. So I was like, well, maybe we could do busts, like not busts, but busts. And he was like, we got a potter, and I was like, a stonemason. He was like, no, and I was like, okay.
She's like, "Well,
It's basically what I popped in.
honestly," she kind of looks at Dogs. Like, my house is relatively large. I wouldn't be against
You
maybe.
need a place to be.
Oh, there's plenty of space. If you'd like to see, I can show you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You show me yours, and I'll show you mine. And
And she's like, yes. If you're done with my friend here, Zog, I was like, yeah, no, I should probably be getting back to bed. I'm going to drink this much in a while. But thank you again, Violet, and your companions, as he looks around at whoever is around. And thank you all very much. You guys have provided much, and we welcome you anytime here. And Phil Spar, thank you again.
As soon as you say that, Kel's gonna come out. It's like, would anyone else want some more aqua?
And you get a few people like, yeah!
All right.
Sharon
let's
joins
do it.
in, yeah.
And
Gotcha. All right. I go and start handing out more cooked fillets, I guess.
all right. And eventually you guys get done eating and drinking. And Valerie leads Violet and whoever else wants to follow out towards the northern part of the town where you had gone to find her herbalist shop. And she passes by it, and she goes past it to a house in the back, and it is relatively large for the houses in town. It's not massive like a mansion or anything, or it's got 2 floors and whatnot, but it has a large yard that has been kind of sectioned off with some fencing, and it's quite an actually beautiful house, bigger than what she by herself would be. And I've lived here for a couple of years now. And I just kind of looks for a moment at the house. My partner and I built it.
Do you want some tea?
Sure.
Tea is good. Tea helps all. Tea calms the soul.
Yes, it does.
And I make tea!
She brings you inside, and it's a well-furnished house. It looks a little, you could probably use a little bit of a cleaning, and but it's still.
If I see any cracks or anything, I just cast mending.
Yeah, but it is filled with all sorts of accoutrement that you are fully you recognize as protection and cleansing areas and things like that, and it's a familiar space for you in that sense. And you sit down and have some tea. At this point, it's getting pretty late into the night.
Once we have our tea, I'm just gonna all of a sudden just grab her by the shoulders, grab her and be like, oh, do you want to see something fucking cool and super weird?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Here, okay. Ground rules. All right. Don't touch them with your bare hands. Okay?
Oh,
There.
Oh my god.
Don't.
I feel this is a good time to mention Lyslin probably would have gone with just to keep an eye on the little one.
no.
You didn't say it before. I didn't make you tea, bitch.
That's fine.
If you're actually there, I would have made you tea. But anyway, she's gonna just be like, look at these. And like, take her fucking thing and like, look at it. Don't touch it.
He's kind of like,
Look at it.
oh,
Don't
Please sit down.
touch it.
but I won't. Please sit down.
Was all of that hidden in the whale?
Yep.
This came from one of those creatures?
There are lots more of them too. Look. Don't tell anybody. That's the other crown rule.
After you show her.
Yeah. After she showed the whole town, I talked to the whole town about it. Uh, this is worrisome.
It's
For
weird.
past
Right?
obvious reasons. Do you remember that vision I talked to you about? And she kind of lowers her voice. The vision I talked to you about.
Yep. Yeah, I do. And she picks it up and she puts it back in the bag. I sure do.
Those are the crystals I was talking about. Recognize them. They're that dark black.
What should we do with them? What do you
My
think?
opinion,
Professional opinion.
they should be destroyed. Whatever has
How?
occurred.
Do we have any access to volcanoes?
I don't. She's like,
Trip to Mount Doom.
well, closest
You could probably
volcano
take a
would
train.
be. There's no terrain to a volcano. There
That's a missed
is-
opportunity.
there is. She's like, the only volcano I'm aware of is the couple that are in the demon wastes.
Oof.
And she's like, I don't know how you would destroy these things, but whatever has been happened to them, whatever has been done to them to create this corruption, should not have happened at all. It needs to be
Well,
destroyed as soon as possible.
I tried to cleanse them, but as you can see, it didn't work.
I wonder if the Hex will try to steal them eventually.
The what?
100% probably will. Like I
We should
told you
probably surround them in
before when
iron
I
then.
asked you if you were a hag, right? And then we determined you weren't.
Actually, to that point, here, touch this horseshoe.
Who touches it?
She's fine. I apologize for
She
the iron.
burns. And that's how Lyslin and Violet died again.
You've discovered my secret.
No, not my new friend.
The ultimate betrayal.
Dominate person, bring me the others.
Top 10 anime
Oh,
betrayal.
shoot. Oh no, that was about to go in a really different direction.
No, she's. I'm glad I could be absolved of being considered a hag. I appreciate that. But
I mean, like, I didn't doubt you at all.
no, it's
I
They are-
just met you, so of course I doubted you, but I'm now.
they're crafty creatures. I've heard.
You seem
tales.
to be in good terms with Violet. You touch the horseshoe, you're fine.
And, I don't think have I gotten your name?
Oh, sorry, I am Lyslin.
Nice. It's wonderful.
At least
to
that
meet
is what you call me. That is not, of course, my name. My name is very much a secret.
Well, it's good to keep secrets like that. Names are powerful things.
Violet just sits there with this
So few
big
realize
fucking grin on her face. Like,
Violet knows.
yeah.
My name is Valerie.
It is nice
Your
to
name
meet
is
you.
what?
Valerie. She's just
Valerie.
She's told.
Oh, right. Cool. Actually Valerie, though? Or is it like Valerie, you know, like...
She kind of like she is like finishes saying this to Lyslin, and as you said, that she kind of like turns her eye towards you and winks, and then turns back to looking at Lyslin.
Oh, okay.
So I can't help but notice a lot of wordings. Do you have a lot of problems with spirits, Faye?
It's more of a general protection. I've since the morning has happened, there has been an influx of distraught spirits that reside in this land. I've set up these protections as they have become more unrested.
Restless dead is always a problem.
It's more of a precaution, but yes, I have dealt with a few wayward spirits that have confused, and a couple of them I could tell were fortunate souls that had taken place in the war and had died, just wandering the land. It's terribly sad. But onto your subjects. Hopefully you guys see the town. Thank you very much for that. And to the sake of living space, we have multiple rooms. My partner and I were planning on having a family at some point. One looks around, so that's not going to be the case. So, you're more than welcome to stay here anytime we're all in town. And there is plenty of space out there, and we were even in the workings of setting up a small barn. So, if that is more to your liking than I you're more than welcome there.
Yes, it is more to my...
A little more spacious than the rooms for us tiny people.
That is simply the way of things. More often than not, I'm used to sleeping under the stars. A roof in general is just a great thing.
Of course.
One of the few things the material world gets right is these barns, as you say.
Yes, it's not filled with much, but anything you might need. I don't expect you to sleep in hay or anything like that, but anything you might need.
No, I've actually got a very wonderful blanket they gave me in town. It's wonderful.
I expect these people of this town are very generous. That's why I've continued to live here. It's been amazing. But it might be time soon for me to move on. She looks to Violet knowingly.
Violet is playing around with random shit around the room, and she looks back with a knowing look, and then the expression on her face completely changes to one of mischievous joy, as it normally is, and she is like, Valerie, do you have any pets?
Well, I normally don't bring him around, but he's... Salam. She kind of calls back, and you hear kind of this and this furred, four-legged creature comes around the corner. At first, you think, "Wow, that's a big cat," and then you realize, okay, that maybe not actually is a cat. You're not sure. It's big, and it's probably the size. It's probably about twice the size of a normal house cat. Long fur. Looks at you. It has a feline face and long brush tail, and the fur is kind of this mottled browns and some oranges in there, and it has piercing yellow eyes slitted, and it has, as it kind of walks around the corner, you see it yawn, and you see it has sharp fangs, long fangs, on either side of its mouth as it opens its mouth. And this is not a domesticated house cat. This is a hunter, and it kind of walks around towards you and kind of looks up at you, Violet. And there's this, instead of a purr, it's more of it kind of moves past and then looks at you, Lyslin. And Lyslin, you get this odd familiarity with it. Can't quite place it. But then it kind of hops up on the table to Valerie, walks towards her, and she runs her hand along its back as kind of walks around and then kind of sits. This is Solid. He is, I wouldn't call him my pet. He kind of, as she says that, the creature kind of looks at her and then looks back at you guys.
Like you're familiar?
Familiars are bonded in more magical means. Solemn chooses to be here.
Cool. What is he?
She kind of looks to the creature. That's for him to tell.
Huh?
And as you reach out your hand, you hear a voice in your head say, I really don't have hands to shake with, but good to meet you.
You have paws, but that's good enough. Nice to meet you too. You're like not a normal house cat.
I am the farthest thing from, my dear. As he kind of licks his paw, cleans his face a little bit.
But what are you?
I swear I've encountered something similar to you before.
Kind of gets up gets up again, kind of walks to the edge of the table, looks at you, Violet, and then looks at you, Lyslin, looks piercing yellow eyes. You, as you hear the voice in your head, Lyslin, are not from this plane of existence, are you? You're far from home.
Did I hear
Clever,
that
aren't you?
too?
Nope.
No, just Lyslin. I think our connection's broken.
Yes, he seems to be
Try
thinking
again.
at me. I'm sorry, I say he. Is that appropriate for you?
It fits this form, yes.
What was the answer to that? I feel like I need to know.
It fits this form, although, yeah. So, honestly, what suits you best?
Song kind of,
I don't think they will take offense if you.
You have other forms?
kind of like tilts his head a little bit. I have many forms, little one. Much like you do.
Cool! So do I! And I turn into a cat!
Kind of eyes you a little bit. Goes back to Lyslin. What brought you here?
Would that I know. As best as I can tell, it seems to be a ploy of some hags or some other deific-like powers, bringing me across multiverses, planes, realms. I'm not entirely sure. But now I'm here, and I guess I have to save the world.
Kind of like reaches up his paw and he does kind of like this thing as he's come closer.
I'll just bend straight down towards him.
So just kind of what you seek is very far off. It's going to be a difficult road to find what you do seek.
Yes, I assume so. It turns out that dying, I thought, was going to be the easy way. It's not.
But he's kind of leans back a little bit on his haunches. I would not be so quick to try to return home. Valerie's kind of back sitting as you is having this one-way conversation, like she's hearing your side, Lyslin, but not hearing Solemn's. He's being cryptic, isn't he?
Just sitting on the armchair. Just like on the arm of her chair, like
Purring.
Actually, he's being
Yeah.
incredibly
Yeah.
forthright for
And he just gestures between himself, Violet, and you said Solemn?
Solemn. Yep.
Yeah. So he gestures between the three of them.
very like beings.
Solemn kind of gets up, goes kind of like a circle around, and then ends kind of sitting facing now Valerie and Cat Violet. And you hear a voice in your head, Violet, says, "Your cousin is going to need you soon. Be there for her."
I just like switch back to me, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" She always needs me.
Gets up. You hear that. You hear that same. As kind of goes and hops off the table, and then kind of meanders out.
What the fuck does that mean?
And Valerie's like,
At that point,
What do
I
you
believe
do, my bro?
he is being cryptic.
he do that. Guessing he didn't actually say towards. He is. He's not from around here. You say that much. I ran into him a while ago. I didn't ask him to stay. He just decided to stick around, and it always seemed like he was waiting for something. I'm not exactly sure why or what. He never told me, but he is a fascinating companion, nonetheless. We have some interesting conversations.
Definitely interesting.
Lyslin just staring off to where he went. I think I like him.
But I was like, well, I'm sure he's off to go to sleep or go hunt, whatever the case may be. I feel like I should probably get to sleep myself. I have some things I must do. Yes, in
There.
future, if you come into town and I'm not here, feel free to use the house. And she kind of gets up and goes over to a drawer that she pulls open, and there's kind of like a kind of a key, a ring of keys, and she pulls one of them off, and she hands it over to you, Violet. Says,
Yes.
"This is should get you into the house. And you're all welcome here, regardless of if I'm here or not. This place is yours."
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your generosity. It's
Hey.
just a token of my own appreciation. Please have a few of these.
And he just like takes out a couple of the flowers from his hair.
Some for you and one for him.
She kind of takes them. I'm sure you will appreciate it. Thank you. And she goes and
Are there any books?
She actually goes over to a shelf, and she takes off a shelf, a book that she opens up, and you see it kind of fold outwards to a number of pressed flowers that have been placed inside the book. And she places the flower that Lysa gave her and places it in there. And she kind of closes it gently and places it back on the
Before
shelf.
she closes it,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna like come over and like druid craft onto the sheet that she puts licensed flower on. I'm just gonna druid craft a periwinkle flower.
She smiles. Thank you.
I tell her, I go up to her ear and like I whisper thing that nobody knows.
She kind of gives you a bit of a sad look, but she smiles. Thank you for sharing. She closes the book, places it on the shelf, and then says, have a wonderful night, both of you. Just kind of swirls
you
off.
as well.
And if you do decide to leave before we get back, just like, send us a message.
Will do.
Cool.
And she heads upstairs. And before that, she showed you that there were they had built the house for a extended family, and there are not furnished very well, but there are excuse me, 5 rooms in the house, the one upstairs and 4 downstairs, and then there is the barn and the yard outside. And they're not massive rooms. It's not a massive house, but it's enough that it's enough to fit 5 bedrooms. So it's kind of that in between. And yeah, you guys can choose to furnish this however you would like, decorate it however you'd like. She's essentially giving it to you
Nice.
as
We're going straight to the
Lysan's
end.
probably confused by this a little bit, but Violet is very aware of why this is happening.
Lysan just sees me get a key and be like, what the fuck? The fuck just happened? What is that for?
I can't help but feel we might have been kindred spirits, but that was a little easy to get a key to the home. Are you blackmailing her? Is it a guy's?
You blackmailing her?
Not at all am I blackmailing her. Let's go back to the end.
Are
and
you
tell
blackmailing her?
everybody. I am not blackmailing her!
Are you blackmailing her? You have to tell the truth now.
Insight check.
I'm not blackmailing her. I swear.
Alright, by the rule of 3, I believe you.
I knew it. I knew that's what you were doing, you tricky thing, you. Let's go back and tell everybody.
Well, Violet, you might have noticed I am Faye myself.
Well, yeah. I have noticed that. It's pretty hard not to notice that.
So what's going on over at the inn?
Whatever you guys are wanting to happen, it's still, people are starting to actually settle down. People are leaving. There's still plenty of people that are willing to stay up and celebrate because they're partiers, but it's kind of dying down at this point. It's getting too late at night.
I'm making ice
You've run out of
sculptures
alcohol at this point.
Shorin,
Ooh.
have you ever tried this? And I order some mead, and I order a type of liqueur, a sweet liqueur, an almond liqueur if they have it.
I don't believe so. What is it?
All right, so this one is a wine made of honey. All that stuff that License so kindly heals us with. It's what's in this drink. So, as they say, where I'm from, the honey can heal the wounds, but if you drink it, it could heal your heart. It could heal your emotions. It could heal your, sadness. Your inner emptiness can be healed through this drink.
Well,
And this, if you have enough of it, everyone looks better. This is just a quicker road to get to, if you try beer, any other type of adult beverage.
Well, I wouldn't mind trying, but that last one sounds a little odd. How does something make others look better?
Yeah, you just gotta try it. I can't quite explain it.
All right.
And you can't really think about it too hard, right? You just kind of gotta go with the flow. You know, just kind of let it happen, start feeling it. Maybe have about 5 or 6.
Insight
You
check.
know, then you start feeling it more, and then you have about 20 or 30. Then you
Man, this is like the most
That's a
awkward
natural
way
20.
for Kaylin to hit on Shioran.
That's a natural 20, by the way. For a total of 25.
I am completely honest about the beer goggles part. Okay,
Okay.
and the best way I can explain it, which is not a good way, but I don't know that is not a good way. So, as far as I understand what I'm explaining, that's how it is to me.
But you don't have any ulterior motives.
None.
All right.
You're trying to get her drunk. I feel like there's always an alternative motive there.
All right, so Sharon will try. She got that natural 20 insight check. As far as she knows, Kaylin is just being up on the wall. Or
I'm
whatever the
legitimately
term
up
is
on
that I
the
just
wall.
tried to use.
I am
29 bottles of beer on the wall.
I am an honest man. I'm a man of the cloth. God damn it.
Are you?
Take a shot.
Alright, yeah. So how is it?
It's sweet. It's good. I like sweet things.
Hmm.
I really like sweet things.
This is an interesting flavor that we don't get a lot under the sea.
I would assume so, because if they like poured this stuff out on the drink, everyone out under the sea, everyone would be drunk, I'd assume.
Well, there's that, and everything tastes like salt.
I mean, yeah, that would kind of be a palate cleanser due to overwhelming salt. So, yeah, let's try the mead.
Mm-hmm. I guess Sharon's got a drinking buddy now.
You know how Bo and Yasha are disaster lesbians?
You already shipping Kale and Sharon?
Disaster heteros, 100%.
I'll have you know, I'm just a disaster.
And we also have our disaster tour guide right up there.
I am literally the most pan of pan. I cook with the pan. I am the pan at this point.
So, Kaylin's the breakfast skillet. Everything just goes in as much as it can.
I'm a cleric, guys.
I really like sweet things. Was what got me. Like,
Yeah. I was like, wow, that's a line.
like I really like sweet things.
I can't wait till
Anywho.
Sharon tries kale, and then she gets to say, "Kale is delicious."
I know.
Oh, God.
Oh, good God.
How's that mean?
Needs more pineapple.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What did we
I'm
just
gonna move
do?
this forward. The rest of the night goes by with the drinking buddies. The others come by, and like Violet is like, "Hey, we have a house."
Don't worry, she didn't blackmail her.
I didn't blackmail anyone for it.
I'll treat to that.
Why would you have to specify that?
Because fucking
Because she was
Lyslin
trying to
thinks that I
blackmail Zog.
I wasn't trying to blackmail Zog. I was trying to get our
Okay,
reward
right.
for
You're
the thing
trying
that
to
we
extort
did.
him.
Okay, yeah,
There's,
that's
like,
fail.
My point is like, yeah, it's extortion, not blackmailing.
That's fair. We're still getting our busts though, right? You can commission the potter to do the thing. Please.
Dog's not
Oh.
there.
Right, okay.
We can
So
talk to
we're
him
gonna
about that in the
do
morning.
Merrick's like, who are you talking to?
myself. We're gonna do don't ask. We're gonna do busts instead. But we got a house from completely another means. Don't worry, I didn't blackmail anybody. There may or may not be a really strange and really temperamental shapeshifter in our house. We don't have to kill it. Don't worry, it's fine. It's all good. It's friendly. It seems friendly.
Apparently, they are very cryptic. I believe Violet experienced that. He was very upfront with me.
Interesting.
It was definitely interesting.
How did you get a cat? I mean, why did I say cat? How did you get a house?
How did we get a house?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know this lady, and she's really nice, and she owns the magic shop. So we kind of hit it off real good, real quick. And I was trying to extort Zog for a house. And then she was like, I have a house. Come live in it.
You were
And
trying
gave
to
me a key.
extort.
Zog for a house, yes. I was admittedly doing that. But I got us a house. Without actual extortion or blackmail.
I guess that's good.
It's as good as it gets.
We didn't have to pay for it.
For some reason, I kind of suspect that we might in the future, though.
No. We have
Well,
the
for
key
sure, like-
already.
Merrick kind of pipes up. How are you sticking around, Zilspar?
No. But it's like just in case we come back, you know.
So are we just like gonna get a house in every town we go to?
Yes!
Assuming
I-
that there's no hidden fees or anything, it's probably cheaper to own property than constantly stay in inns.
And if we own a lot of property, we can start renting it out to other adventurers and
You
things.
know, that
like,
sounds
like
like
we could. Oh, I've got it. We could use my cousin's name, right? You know, bed and breakfasts, right? We could call it Airbnb.
I endorse this plan. I can cook a mean breakfast.
We'll make plans, yeah.
Adventure over. You guys just make an
Venture
Airbnb.
over. We figured this shit out. Let's do this.
I'm going to say that we should probably not attempt extortion anymore.
We're not
Ever
going to
since-
extort
ever
everyone.
since
We're
about fighting
providing a
Pit
service.
My son is done with my shit. I was sitting on that for a second.
Not gonna lie, that was pretty fucking good.
That was very good.
If only Lysland was witty, he would retort something about getting a dog carriage and call it Greyhound bus. But he's not, so he's just gotta let that go.
Oh boy. Don't you hate those moments?
As this conversation is happening, are you doing anything else for the rest of the night?
Yeah, I will, after, like, everything settles down, outside, and people are, like, going in and stuff, I will probably just, like, fly up to a cloud, lay on it, think about everything. Lots of things to think about.
Alright. You leave the book alone.
I'm not diving deeper, but I am just thinking.
You just leave the book where it is.
The book is in my shirt.
I know. You just leave it there.
Yep.
Air doesn't know about the house.
Nope.
We should
If we
probably
use
go
the
tell Air about this if we can find her.
Oh yeah,
To,
the thing said I needed to go find her.
You know, but wherever she is, she likes to go everywhere else. It might be, up in the air where she is.
If she
Okay.
is, you've seen her wings. She's essentially a flare.
In the air, yes.
We all
Yeah,
just interrupt Air's
yeah, you
story
can
for a
see
little
her from a
conversation.
mile away.
Alright.
the rest of the night pass, you guys go back to the house, or you guys can stay at the inn, whichever you'd like. And who does go back to the house? I should ask.
I'll go to the house.
I'm gonna go
Lysland
back to the
will.
house, but I'm gonna try to find Air on the way.
Make
Yeah.
a perception.
And everybody will have to come with me because I've got the fucking key.
Mm-hmm. That's
Make a
true.
perception check, Violet.
I'm gonna do perception with this one. Okay. My perception is +7, I believe. So that's gonna be 21.
She's not hiding, so she's pretty easy to pick out with her the color of her wings and whatnot. So you do end up finding her somewhere. She's kind of like drifting along with the cloud. That's slowly drifting north.
You're in the cloud? Okay, I'm gonna pop up my head, like, right next, like, your head is there, and I'm just gonna be like, we have a house!
Wow, how did you get that done so quickly?
Well, like, a whole house. Like, okay, so I was, like, trying to, okay. I was trying to extort Zog for a house.
Always a good plan. Always a good plan.
Yes, and he was like, no, and I was like, damn.
That's pretty rude.
How about
saved his
I
town.
know, right? Like, we saved your town, but anyway, he was like, no,
Yes,
and
you
I was
do.
like, okay, what about busts? Like, not busts, but busts. And he was like, I mean, we have a potter, and I was like, you ain't got no stonemasons, and he was like, no, and I was like, oh, okay, that we'll work on that, and then the Valerie was just like, I have a house, and I was like, cool, and she led us to the house, and she was like, here's my shape-changing cat, he's really cool, and he's big, and also not just a cat, that's why he's a shape changer, and he speaks in your head, and he's really cryptic,
Interesting.
and yeah, and so
your
he
head,
lives in
you
the
say?
house. Yeah, and he lives
Huh.
in the house. Yeah, and he told me that I had to help you, so here I am to help
Help
you.
me?
Here's the key to our house. Yeah, what's going on? Cause I know something's up. He growled at me really weird, and I just start poking her forehead, and I'm just like, so tell me what is going on.
Nothing's going on. I mean, I don't know how you could help me. I always
And I
help
do
you.
the growl. I do the growl that he.
I wonder what they're talking about up there.
What was that again?
I wonder what they're talking about up there. I bet it's something important.
I'm just like.
Like,
I kept like a flask of mead. Yep.
Fucking perfect.
the growl is killing me.
I miss being able
Honestly,
to
after
swim.
you growled, Air probably would have busted up laughing as well.
I'll just like cross my eyes.
I mean, I don't currently need help. I'm all good, just chilling, thinking about life. But
Insight check.
I love the new the new noises you've learned. I mean, they're great.
I know they're cousins, but this is like the most sisterly thing I've ever seen.
Well, wait, babe. Oh, that's an unnatural 20. That's 15 plus 5.
Oh yeah, well I'm lying. Sort of. I am mostly just thinking about life and everything. life, the universe, everything. And I haven't found that the answer is 42 yet, so
Yeah.
I'm I'm behind on the time.
I'm gonna like zip and like sit cross-legged on top of the cloud, and I'm gonna grab air, and I'm gonna be like,
When you do that, I'm
"You're
just gonna
lying to me."
when you grab me, I'm just gonna push your head so you fall through the cloud, and then I'm gonna sit over the spot that you were just sitting.
I'm gonna come back on the other side of you and then shake your shoulders and be like, "You're lying to me."
I mean, not
Tell
really.
me the truth.
I mean, I'm just gonna like.
Look, the magical thing, the cat thing, told me some shit, and
Yeah.
now, yeah. So, what's going on?
Air is just gonna like look off into the sky and be like, "Do you ever miss home?"
Like, you mean like the Feywild?
Yeah, like where we were made, not our family, of course. I mean, I miss
Yeah.
them. They're great, but they're a lot to handle. More like
That's true.
just where we were, where we were made. Do you ever miss it?
Yeah. It's been cool, like going around and doing different things, and aside from the whole getting killed thing and waking up to hags, but
I mean, that was
yeah.
also fun at first. A new adventure.
I mean, I suppose. But what are you getting at?
Oh, just curious.
Mm.
And then she's going to push her down again.
Instead of coming back up, I grab your feet and pull you down as well.
Are they fighting?
Or wrestling. Like how
Yeah,
fairies
we're just
wrestle.
wrestling through the
I think
crowd.
it's just the way they communicate.
You know, I used to see this a lot. They are either in a blood duel or they're playing. And there
You
is
guys
no
are-
distinguishment between the
It's
two.
just on the ground, and you just see flashing lights going like through the clouds.
Now that I think about
It's
it,
like
it
a
does remind
strobe
me.
light.
It does remind me a bit of how my siblings and I played. Sometimes.
I'm just going to grab
Yeah,
Violet
I can kind of see that.
and just like violently spin us downwards towards the ground.
I think Air is winning.
I'll try to like wrench us back up.
make an athletics check, and you can make an athletics check as well. Air to resist if you would like.
Oh, well, I don't want to actually make us hit the ground.
Okay,
It's a 12.
it's enough. She's not fighting, and you guys are able to kind of pull off before you hit the ground. Some of you guys have done a number of times together.
Yeah.
Nearby us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you two.
Hello.
Was it playing or a blood duel?
Maybe a bit of both.
See, I told you, there is no distinguishment between the two.
Just
I'll
like
keep
my
that in mind next time.
just like my siblings.
Yep.
But seriously,
So we have a house.
like you would tell me if there was anything going on, right?
Oh, of course.
Really? That doesn't sound very convincing. I don't even need to do an insight check.
Because every person who ever has any kind of trauma.
Yeah. Of course I'd let you
Yeah.
know. I would
Hope
never
so.
lie. As I'm lying.
I look her dead ass in the eyes and I'm like, because I don't really know what I would do if I lost you too.
Oof.
Hmm.
Yeah. Really pulling out the guilt card there.
Well, she did get some extortion practice. I mean,
She already had that before. I'm still a little
Extortion has
disappointed
leveled
you couldn't extort the house out of him.
roll for extortion.
I feel like you could have
Let's-
tried harder there.
I did.
Roll for guilt trip.
I gave up pretty easy.
I mean, it was a
But-
good guilt trip. You don't have to roll for it. It was like a natural 20. Aaron just kind of
Because Aaron knows exactly what I'm talking about.
just gives you a thumbs up. The most
Okay,
awkward response
you know-
ever.
Let's go pick our rooms.
And as we like go there, I'm like, I still can't believe you couldn't actually extort a house out of them. It's pretty embarrassing. Honestly.
I got a house in the end, did I not? I would have continued
yeah.
to try. I would have continued to try had Valerie not been like, I have a house.
Mary kind of pops up and is like, she did get free room and board at the Red Cliff Overlook, though.
I already had that.
I mean, not that it really matters right now, because, like, we already had that, and, like, we now have a house, but we could still go and get food off them, though.
Little
Free
one, trust
food!
me, I was there. You were not close to getting a house from Sock.
Look, Lyslin, do you even know how buying a house works?
How
Yes,
does
you
buying a
exchange
house
goods
work?
for property of land. Some of my tribe left the Feywild to do that. They are very
This-
strange.
I do think that
Very strange.
the head cook there was making eyes at me though.
What's she your type?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably.
I mean, you don't have to stay in your room tonight, Kale. You
Nah,
could
I'm
go
good.
back
I'm
to
good.
the inn.
Nah, I'm a man.
No,
Uh.
fair, because she looked like she could break you into.
Yeah, well, maybe that's my thing. Who knows? I did sleep with someone who could probably do that, so
Look, Kale, get it, go. I'm not.
But the question is, could she break me into?
You know what? You want to try? Go right ahead.
No, I'm.
No, I'm good.
Is being broken by someone a good thing?
Depending
Depends
on
on
the
if you like it
situation.
or not.
I love how everyone just
It
piped up.
depends. Emotionally, no. Physically,
It sounds painful.
Let's go
So
to this
you
house.
all
shall
enjoy
we?
your time inside the house. I'm going to secure the perimeter. I'm going to hang a horseshoe on the door.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
After all of this is happening, you guys are getting back to the house right as the sun is starting to crest over the horizon. It's been a long, long night. And you guys go in, you guys can choose your rooms, so whatever horseshoes you'd like.
Air does not go in.
Okay.
She's just gonna fly up to a cloud above the house.
Is there a bathtub in there?
Yeah. It's not like connected to plumbing or nothing, but it's a bathtub.
I don't have the spell, so I don't have any spell slots, so I can't do that. Never mind. I was just gonna be like,
Hey, Shorin,
hmm?
have you ever tried a hot tub?
What's a hot tub?
It's like, okay, hear me out. It's like the sea, but not salt water and hot. Like, not too hot. Just hot enough.
Like near the volcanic vents?
Yes, but not chemicals. No poisonous gases. Unless someone farts. At least less poisonous gases.
It's something that I've done from time to time. If it's
How
anything
big
similar
is
to
the
what
bath?
I'm thinking.
It's one person, a Valerie size.
A Valerie sized. So potentially we could fit a fairy and a Triton in there.
Tritons are
Yeah.
only Sheeran's only 5 feet, so.
Yeah.
We're very small. Okay. I'm gonna fill the bath, and
Are you creating said water, or were you getting said water?
I mean, I'll create it. That's fine.
Fills the bathtub.
Bath is filled, and then I.
Oh, is this a place for Tritons to sleep?
No. No.
I saw that, Kale.
No. No. But, how big is like the? I assume that this is heated by a little fireplace underneath or some shit.
It's not currently built up at the
Cool.
moment, but
How long does? Yeah, okay. I will stack it full of wood and then just cast Flaming Sphere
Oh boy.
all right.
so that it like heats up the rest of the bath real
Okay.
quick.
I mean, all right. We'll say you modified it a little bit so that the ball's not quite as big because it's a 5-foot diameter circle.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's a big fireball, fire sphere. But yeah, it's like a little smaller flame sphere.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna like dip my toe in, make
It's
sure it's
very,
nice.
very
And-
warm. There's steam coming off. the
Okay,
plate.
cool. But not too warm, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, Shurin! I'll druid craft some like little flowers and shit in it. And I'll find some like, no, I won't. I'll just do the flowers. And then I'll be like, Shurin!
I'm right here.
Okay, good. Get in. The water's great. And I'm just gonna like fucking dive in.
Yeah. She'll jump in.
Is a spa pool. And there's more. But wait, there's more.
Sharon gets more and more pink as the longer she stays in
She
there.
turns purple.
Feels good on your aching
Oh,
muscles.
yes, I can. I can create instantaneous harmless sensory effects. Like a puff of wind sort of thing. So I just make like little bubbles.
I haven't had a spa day in a long time.
You've been in a spa?
I mean, that's what we call the places that do stuff like that. Is that...
Weird. By like the chemical? Like the gas?
I
The
mean,
bad gas? Poison gas?
there's gas that comes out of the actual vent, but distance away is safe.
Have I shown you my rock?
Do you have a rock?
It's really cool. I'm gonna like take the little chest out of my bag and I'll flip it open. I'll be like, look, you can touch this one, it won't hurt you.
Small, little, looks like a very well cut stone, almost kind of like a precious stone, not a gem, but a precious stone of kind of this interesting color, but it looks like it's been cut into the shape of a dodecahedron.
That is an interesting one. I'm gonna go ahead and
Thank you.
trace the lines on it a little bit.
It's very smooth, almost impossibly smooth.
Now, you're not gonna believe this, but it's not actually cut. It's natural.
You found it
Au
like this?
natural. I didn't find it. I got it from Valerie,
Who's Valerie?
the one who gave me the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there a reason it's cut like this? Or is there a reason it's
It's
like
not
this?
cut. Don't know. Nobody knows. It's a mystery. It's kind of cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it does anything. I think it's just a paperweight, but it's cool.
You weigh down paper.
What?
You said it was a paperweight. I didn't know paper was
Yeah.
weighed.
Well, yeah, when you're writing a letter, you don't want it slipping around everywhere, so you just put like a bit of something on like the top of it to make it not wiggle.
I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah, or if you're like writing, like it's probably like a whole like war thing or something, when you're in your tent and you have to like write the message to like the general or some shit, and then you got to send it away on like the horse and that, and you don't like you're in a tent and you don't want the papers going everywhere, so you just put a rock on it.
Okay.
This is my rock. That was all. It's cool.
It is cool. Thank you for showing me your rock.
Don't tell anybody about my rock, or I'll have to kill you.
Sheeran tilts her head. Okay.
Just kidding. I'm just joking.
You're a very silly person, aren't you?
I'm a fairy.
I do enjoy your personality quite a bit.
I appreciate that.
There, do you go to sleep up at the club? Your dream that you have that night is unlike anything you've seen up to this point. You've had some crazy dreams before. You're from the Feywild. Some crazy shit happens there. This is a lot of flashes and images and symbols that don't make any sense to you. Never seen before. And it's painful to look at. There is a large amount of just chaotic images of flashes of colors and shapes and just things that don't make sense. And you get this sense of almost like falling into these images. And as it becomes almost too much for your head to handle, as these flashes just continue to kind of whip past your vision in your mind, it all goes black, and you just hear that same voice, deeper, and it resonates through, and wake up from that. And as you do, I need you to make a wisdom saving.
What the fuck has Air picked up in the last few games?
Wisdom saving throw, not very wise. So we'll see how this goes. Which die to use is the question. I have a +0 to my wisdom saves.
I have a +5 and you have a +0.
Yeah, but it's a 16.
16. You wake up, get your full rest, but there's like headache, but it passes quickly. It's just gonna wake up and kind of like, get a little look around, and colors seem to be just a little bit off while the pain resides, and then it slowly fades away, and kind of vision goes back to normal.
Can I feel the dun 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 dun?
You sit there and think about it. It's almost like kind of like, is it there? You sit and you think about it. You just feel there. It's right against your chest. It almost feels like it's your own heart, but it's just slightly off. You feel it against your skin.
Well, I'm sure everything's fine there.
Nothing wrong at all. Okay, it's you guys sleep in late because it is. You guys didn't go to bed really, really late, so it is well into the afternoon by the time you guys all wake up.
How
far
bad
away
is
from the house
Kale
am I?
and Shioran's hangover?
Oh yeah, make some Constitution saving throws for me, please.
How many?
Just one.
Okay. Well,
4. But so it's a natural 4, so that would be a 6.
All right.
saving throw is +3, so that's a 7.
Yep. Both have points of exhaustion.
Oh, God.
Yay.
Let me just long rest first and then put that point of exhaustion.
Yep.
One.
You both wake up in just pain. The first thing that happens to you, Kale, when you wake up is, well, and it just roll out of bed. It just no time at all. It just comes right up the moment you open your eyes, and the room just whoosh spins, and it is not a fun time.
God.
And,
Is this the
Shioran,
point where
you-
I say that Violet comes through with fucking pots and pans? Like, good morning! Good morning!
Can you not?
Please, for all that is holy in this universe and beyond, please stop.
I think I might be sick.
But yeah, if you look around the house when you get up, you notice that both Valerie and Solemn are gone.
They're
Oh, yeah.
gone?
She did
Where
say he
did
seemed to
they
have been waiting for something. 9 to 1, he was waiting for us.
But where did they go?
I was interested in meeting him.
Violet, if you want to make an investigation check.
Come on. Natural 20.
You.
I love
kind of
it when I
look
do
around
it with the
house a little
Kraken
bit.
dice, because it's a Kraken.
Cracking on it, yeah. You get up to her room where she was, and you find, kind of looking around a little bit, you find tucked underneath the pillow on the bed, which the bed is made and clean and everything. There's a small little blue envelope.
I
You kind of
open
pull
it.
it out, and it has Violet written on it, and you read it, and it says, per your wonderful reading you gave me, I've decided it is time to continue on with my journey. I don't know why exactly I was waiting for that. Didn't even know I was waiting for that. But Something about it stirred something. I needed to move on. And I feel the fates have been kind to me recently, bringing you, your allies into my life. There's nothing if not fate. So enjoy the house, and I will see you again. Please be careful with these crystals. They have more to do with what is going to happen than I think either of us realize. The vision still haunts me. So be careful. I will see you again. And then at the very bottom, there's her name, and there's a large paw print, kind of pressed as in kind of like the ink on the page.
I am going to save that letter. I'm gonna put it like I imagine I have some form of grimoire. I'm going to put it in there. Yep. And then I am going to druidcraft some some branches and some periwinkle flowers, and I'm gonna bend and tie the branches together so that it says my name, Violet, and I'm gonna wrap the periwinkle flowers around it, and then I'm gonna hang it on the door.
There you go.
I've claimed my room.
Yep. It is the bigger room out of the five. Not necessarily all small, but it is the one upstairs. So.
Violet doesn't care about the size of it. She just wants Valerie's room. Because, she really connected with Valerie, and, she's not used to meeting other, like-minded people. So, yeah, she just wants to have Valerie's room.
Makes sense.
So you guys all eventually meet up. Or do you come down?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm actually going to dim my wings so I can't be seen.
All right.
And I am going to take the book, open it up, and look at the first page.
So you take the book, and you go to open it, and it's like it's almost like stuck, like it's like glued. You take it, you try to pry it, and it doesn't want to open.
Oh, okay, so D for first, and then you open the book. Okay. I'm not ready for that, so I'll put it back, and then and then I'll just fall.
Okay. You guys all eventually meet up in the house.
I make
go
everybody tea.
Kind of skeptically, because I really don't want to run into that cat, and I don't know it's gone. Like, it knew something was up with me, and I hadn't met it yet, so I really don't want to meet it.
I think I'm coming down with something, guys.
I think you're drunk. You were drunk last night, hungover today. Yeah. You might still be a little drunk, honestly.
When I come down from Valerie's room and Air is there, I rush up to Air and just poke her on the forehead and then the shoulders, and I'm just hey cousin, how are you? Good morning.
I'll just push her face. Like, it is a morning. It sure is.
Well, actually, it's afternoon. Most of us slept in.
What's drunk?
That's what you were last night.
When you imbibe a lot of alcohol, you become poisoned by it. That is the sensation of being drunk. That is
You
the
basically
end goal
poisoned
of what you're
yourself.
trying to do.
Merrick's like, yeah, it's fun to drink, but it is actually, they're correct. It's a poison, essentially. Your body doesn't enjoy it in large amounts.
Is that why
Especially
I feel like
the
this?
morning after.
Kale, why didn't you warn me?
Ask me later. I don't know what I was thinking.
Kale,
last
it's
night.
later! Why did you do it?
Yeah, Air's talking really loud,
Please don't. Please don't.
like this whole time.
Might be small, but I bet I could drink any of you under the table.
Right now, you can definitely.
I don't know what that
Well-
means.
I kind of feel like I just died again. Again.
Agreed.
So, we have a house.
Never
And
again.
we
a house.
don't have anything appropriate to do. Where do we want to go?
I'm not going to be that guy, but something doesn't sit right with me still with all those things for some reason. Especially
crystals.
the crystal part.
Yeah, I think that we should try to find whoever is trying to use the crystals.
I still,
Personally. But
Yeah.
we were on our way to Sharn.
I still have to meet up with Zamas. See if I can still do my land stride properly.
Seems like the better idea to stop the evil magic shard, personally. But,
Yeah.
Do we have any clues where they
Okay.
are?
So here's the thing. I'm a little bit worried, personally. I got the heebie-jeebies, about going any further with the shards. I would like to destroy them, but I don't know how.
have you tried?
see,
I suggested a volcano, but Valerie said that the most likely
they're
one is in the
probably
demon
far away.
waste.
I look at Merrick.
Yes?
I mean, he can be a volcano, I guess. I mean,
I don't think that's how that works. You're being really culturally insensitive right now, Kale.
Have you tried to
and the man
destroy
is
them?
literally a man made of fire. Like, he is the hottest person
Doesn't mean
here.
he's made of lava, okay?
It's like, kind of points to Kale, like, I don't quite have that power. I have personal experience with the heat of a volcano, and I can promise you I cannot get that hot. But the air makes a point. We haven't yet tried to destroy them. Shall we try it?
What are we gonna do
Can I
to
please
destroy them?
Stab.
can I please take a look
Magic.
at one? I'm a cleric.
Flame
Maybe I
'em.
can kind of do some crazy cleric shit.
I mean, yeah, but hold on, I need to tell you about some crazy shit first. You see, Valerie knew we were coming, sort of. Not really, but like sort of. She's seen us in a dream, and we were surrounded by these crystals.
So we don't
And
destroy
they
them.
were the exact same crystals, and it didn't look like something nice, guys. Like I have a really bad feeling if we can't destroy these or we don't get rid of them, that something really bad is gonna happen.
Well,
Do you still have them?
Yes.
you let me take a look at them, maybe I can help.
Okay. And
Or
I'll
maybe I
open
can
the
find some
bag.
people who can help.
Just remember, don't touch it with your bare hands.
Kind of places one on the table, and as she's doing that, Merrick's like, that vision she had sounds similar to the one that I have.
Alright, I'm going to try to examine it.
How would you like to try to examine it? Just looking at
Um,
it, or you want to try anything
Yeah, well,
specific?
first of all, I want to see, just kind of dissertate, take in the features of it, compare it against Merrick's, right? And then go and like try to consult maybe like I'm pretty sure I have some sort of scripture with me, so
Yeah, so make an investigation check, and then you can
Okay.
make a religion check afterwards.
okay. So that's all with disadvantage since I'm exhausted.
Correctamundo.
So the investigation check is a 15. And then what was the checks afterwards?
Religion check.
Religion check, okay. So that is a 16.
Not too bad. So 15, you definitely tell the similarities between the two crystals. The one that Violet laid down is slightly bigger, has that dark shimmer to it a bit, and now in more light of day as it is now, also not overcast. Some sun streams in through the window, and you can see it kind of shimmers, and it looks the kind of the wavy shimmer inside the crystal is more evident, as it almost looks like there's something inside of it. But like Violet, when you've held it, it doesn't feel like there's anything that's shifting inside. It feels like a solid rock. And it also, as you kind of get close to it, not touching it, but getting close enough, it has a bit of a colder temperature to it than the other, basically around it. Just you can kind of feel just a very, very slight change in temperature as you kind of put your hand near it. And then the religion check is you kind of like sift through your own scripture book and kind of think back to your own studies. Not really anything you've heard of anything that relates to this. You have read some things on dragon shards when it comes to the relation of like the creation of Corvair and creation myths and ideas that the crystals are the excess, basically, of the creation of the world and relation to the gods themselves of the three beings that became the world. But nothing that relates to black crystals like this.
I hate to say this, but we might need to go find an expert.
Where would we find one?
Do you know an expert on dark magic crystals?
If
Personally,
I did,
don't.
we'd be going there. But I would assume that in a big city like Sharn, there might be someone who dabbles in that.
Yeah, but the problem is the more people we tell, the more dangerous it gets. Because if these aren't something that are around a lot, there's going to be some pretty shitty people after them. Especially if they can be used for magic.
Well, especially in Sharn.
Especially in Sharn.
So we
Because I think we can all agree Sharn is a pretty shitty place.
go into the
Yeah,
backyard
I'm
and
not
try
a
to
fan of
destroy
it.
them? Everyone just throw everything
I
they
think
got at
that's
it?
a good idea. I mean, I definitely don't want to try to destroy them here in case when there's some horrible monster, then it's going to destroy the house.
Yeah, maybe we don't do it in the backyard either. Maybe we take it to Zog's house. I'm joking. I'm kidding.
The forest. Go to the
We could take
forest.
it
Do we
back
know
throw
which
out
one
to
it's
everything we
the.
got at
Zog's
We
it.
could take it back out to the beach to try to destroy it there, since we have a
The
lot of
beach
area.
is not a bad idea.
I
The
mean,
beach is a good
it's
idea.
not too far.
The beach is almost an hour away for you.
It's only about a half-hour walk there.
I fly.
Yeah, but sure, it's a little bit of a trek, but
We
it's
get a
not really
great
that
beach
long.
view.
I
Who doesn't
can
like the beach?
I can become
I
a
think we
horse
go
and
to the
give
beach.
Kale a ride.
But then there's just Merrick chilling.
Kale or Merrick. I don't know. I don't know. Could a horse hold two people?
You could be a You could be a horse and pull a cart.
I guess I could do that.
I
Or
don't
you
know.
could just
Are
let
you
life
feeling
pull
up
the
to
cart.
making that trip as a horse, Fiorin?
Mm,
Mac's like, we're not in an early
Little
rush.
one,
We
I am not a
could
beast
just
of bird.
go there.
I just like hang on to your antler.
Oh, let's just walk.
I guess we can do that.
It's not like we're not in a rush.
I'm kinda in a
Yes,
rush, but
head
also,
towards-
I guess not.
What are you rushing towards?
Adulthood.
I feel like you're already there. You've already died. I feel
You're
like.
underage?
In a sense.
And you got her drunk?
Ew, you just gave her alcohol!
I'm gonna need some more in a
Kale,
second.
Kale, I don't know
Oh.
much about priests, but it seems like you are a very bad one.
Thank you.
I'm physically mature, but not really an adult in the eyes of my people.
Oh, culturally. Okay.
Kale's
Kel
kinda-
excels in definite relief from that one.
You guys gather your stuff and head out towards the beach. About another half hour later, the what wasn't taken with is the small little scraps of flesh or whatever that weren't gathered up or getting picked at, and the beach itself still looks pretty gory, but there's some shifting of it. How would you guys like to do this?
All right, let's place one in the
I
middle.
cast Thunderwave.
I say.
I mean,
everything
let's
we've
place
got out
one
of
in
it.
the middle first instead of cast thunder wave at the person carrying it. You know?
Yeah, then we just all hit it with everything we've got.
Yeah.
You guys
I hit it with
place
the
in
flame
middle.
sphere.
So Kale's gonna get ready to cast a flaming sphere. Merrick's gonna get ready with a scorching ray.
Guiding bolt.
He's even gonna go into his mantle form just to get a little extra oomph to it. Guiding bolt from Shioran, Thunderwave from Violet. Air, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna dissonant whispers, see if it takes psychic damage. Because
Okay.
I can't hit it with my sword when everybody's about to fucking throw something at it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Seems like a bad place to be.
And Lyslin, what are you doing?
Does anyone have a crossbow I can borrow? I don't want to
I
waste
do.
an arrow. Thank you. I will kindly borrow that if possible.
Yep, there you go, and some bolts.
Oh, I've
And,
got plenty of bolts. I still have the 100
Yes,
that
you
we
do.
scavenged
All
from
right.
those
But,
men.
You guys get all kind of in a circle. Make sure not to like get in the way of people's spells, obviously, and they'll get ready to blast off. And there's a moment of tension as it's just staring at this black crystal that's sitting in the sand, and you all just release your spells and your attacks, and they all just go off, and there's just and there's the quick explosion of all the spells going off in one instant, and then there is the kind of like the flames and the explosion and the thunder wave kind of expands the concussion outwards, but then all of a sudden, as you guys all kind of like step back, as you feel the flash of heat and the pressure, all of a sudden the concussive wave kind of back down into it, and there's a moment of like silence, like everything kind of around is like feel it in your ear, the silence, and it's just and the explosion that comes out of it is a pressure wave that knocks all of you that aren't flying on your ass. The people who are flying are zipped back about 20 feet, and what you hear with this concussive blast is just it's just a cacophony of screaming voices and all sorts of different kinds, low, high, middling, just crazy amount of them. And it's deafening as it just screams outwards and passes by you guys. And you all come back. None of you are hurt, but your ears are ringing. And you look, and the crystal is still there, So black. The ground around it is now in this. It's now in this like crater of sand where the explosions have gone off. There's like bits of like glass that has been fused as the sand got superheated by the flame spells, but the crystal itself seems to be unharmed.
Did anyone manage to make out
Ah.
any language in that?
I'm hungover, so
The
Not
scream's not
unless
really
it was
pure.
Common, Sylvan, Druidic, Terran, Aquayan, or Ingnan.
There were no comprehensible words. It was just a lot of screaming.
All I heard
I
was a
f-
lot of screaming that hurt my head.
I think that whatever's in there is very dissatisfied with what just happened. So am I.
I mean,
Actually.
fair.
And as you guys sit there staring at this, and that what just happened kind of resonates through you guys, I'm gonna call it there.
I was going to ask if there was any cracks at all.
There is, and we'll call it there, and you guys can decide going forward what you guys want to do with this and where you guys want to go. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you guys are all now level 5.
Hooray!
Yay!
We leveled up. Level up. Sweet. Cool. Excellent. What is my fucking...
I was like, the whole time during that thing, I was like, when is she going to pop something that's going to... When is she going to pop some kind of joke on me?
Oh, you mean in the spot pool?
In the tub.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. Something's going to happen from the touching the rock.
Oh, from the rock? No, nothing happens with the rock.
Mm.
That I know of, anyway. I could accidentally be spreading, like, a disease or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I have the name for this episode, by the way.
What's up?
Gifts.
Gifts? With a T?
Gifts.
Alright, does anyone have a suggestion for raids?
No.
Seems like none of my friends streamed on Friday nights.
I've got a friend playing Resident Evil 5.
Alright, lay it on me. Sour slimes. Okay.
Ugh.
8. Nice.
Yeah, I rolled
Nice
a
roll.
7.
Alright, I should probably roll for mine too before we raid.
I'm still waiting for D&D Beyond to not be...
I did fighter, so that's another D10.
What class are you taking here?
I haven't decided yet.
I am taking a level in Bard.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that I get some pretty cool shit this level, but I can't remember.
I finally have action surge. Alright. I'm gonna hit the raid button.
See everybody.
We get like 10 seconds before we actually leave, so.
Oh
Have
no, I
fun.
don't get anything cool.
Alright, raiding now.
You get 3rd level spells there,
Right.
Druid.
Yeah.